blanket of stars stretches into infinity. The pale crescent moon shines above like a silvery claw in Ank'thal's night sky. The occasional barking of faraway dogs breaks the silence as several cloaked individuals slink out of the darkened alleyways and make their way to the Luxron Casino. Like alchemists of days past gone, they too hope to turn the silver in their pockets to gold. They utter a prayer to the Mistress of Fortune before stepping through the threshold of that jubilant devil's den. A skyship departs from the Indela skyport, its broomstone engine humming with magic and leaving a brush of luminescence in the night sky, like a stroke in the ship's wake. His hands resting upon the main deck of the ship railing, Zeno Tridarch watches the city shrink away beneath him and casts his eyes eastward toward home, family, and that which awaits him beyond. On the other side of the district, past the alluvium gardens and the cerulean water canals, a lone ogre recites her poetry to an audience of friends and strangers alike. She drinks in the moment, staring into the audience, sharing in their tears, as she regales a tale woven from the deepest reaches of her ever-tender soul. High up in the guided district, Dermot Wuren kneels in hushed prayer, clutching the symbol of the Luxon in his gauntleted hands as he begs the light to see his friend delivered from harm. Somewhere below, in an isolated jail cell enshrouded from the city's light, the heir of Den Ardeth finishes his chalk sketch upon the cell wall. Gelsariad gazes upon his work, impossible geometry cast upon the dark stone wall in streaks of white. The arcane symbols forming a web of plans. Affording himself the briefest of smiles, he tugs at his threadbare blanket like a noble fixing his cloak, and takes a seat cross-legged to meditate upon his machinations. Outside the Scarlet Oblivion dungeons, far past the city walls, past a sea of desert dunes and arid badlands, 6 explorers delve into the depths of the Vault of Shumas. They braved restless undead, trapped tombs, claimed ancient treasures, and discovered murals telling of ancient history dating back to the days of the Calamity. Here we find our heroes rising from their rest within a fountain chamber. Sir Winston, the newest inexplicable addition to Face Fortune, lifts his gaze from the body of archaeologist Leela Bardet, limply slumped upon a large cushion in the room's corner. Having finished uttering a funeral rite eulogy, he sends off your guide spirit with a gesture of faith before turning to the others. You see Clandestine, the tabaxi thief, soaks a fresh torch in oil and ignites it in the remnants of the coal hearth. The smell of cooked fish still lingers in the air. Having sated her hunger, she appears eager to push on to the depths of this ancient tomb in search of an exit. We've been deceived. Her tone betraying a nervous edge as she casts a green glance at the dead body in your midst. And now we find ourselves stumbling in the dark. At night, we must become shadows, lest we walk straight into whatever ambush lies ahead. And so, Face Fortune, what would you like to do?
I will nod at the Leia Bardet's body and say, I think the reason why we should bring her back is the Allsight know we left with her. We should return the body for that reason, so we're not seen as those who might have done wrong to her. We're new recruits to the Allsight. Anybody can say word, even though we've done some accomplishments in Ank'thal. It would just be covering our backs.
We can bring her back when we're leaving. Just like grab her on our way out. No need to drag her along with us as we're exploring.
I
Put her in
agree.
the bag of Golding.
I'm not going to
Would she
dismember
fit?
her to put her in there. I'd have to cut her body
Didn't
up.
even consider that.
She should remain a whole as one person, not severed into bits and parts.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps even we can bring her back to the Dust Maven so she can lay to rest properly. But we probably shouldn't remain in this room any longer than we need to.
Going to the south of the
How
room
long
here.
ago?
Is this door open? It looks unlocked. Is it not?
Passage forth, found by Julian, it can be opened should you press upon the right stone. Yes.
Do we want to check out what's in here?
We did. It's another
It
portal
leads to
like the
the
one. Sorry, go ahead, Julian.
It leads to the celestial that we said we would check out last.
But it had the glow that it was blocked, unlike the other one that was unlocked for us at the top.
How long ago did that ship crash in the desert? The sky ship?
You do not find
remember this was in the
ledgers or
session
logs. But from just evidence, weeks, maybe more than a couple months ago.
All right. So what else do you want to check out? You want to hang right down the hallway? Is that the last bit of it?
It seems that way, otherwise we'd have to go straight up through the main doors where you've sensed the Celestials.
Yeah, I don't know why everybody's so afraid of Celestials, but you can talk to them last.
I was more curious to see where Bardet went, and it seems like, as Clandestine said, we've been led astray and slightly backstabbed, so somebody else is down here with us. Perhaps if we do go up and talk to them, then they might have an idea who it is. But it's up to the group. What would you guys like to do? Continue on or go talk to Celestials that you've had a chance to peer at, Julian?
I am not in a hurry to talk to any celestials. Let's keep exploring for now. I'm still looking for. I still want to look for more treasure, and then hopefully we can leave without getting ourselves into potentially any trouble.
I agree. Can definitely agree with that. Exploring without troubles. We seem to have quite a troubled time of avoiding trouble.
Ahead, Winston, you see the worked stone transitions back into the natural red stone of the plateau. The same stone you saw outside the gates of this temple. Piles of stone and sand line the cavern. In some areas, catching the light of your torches, a small glint. It catches your eye in the low light. Here, there, small glints as if embedded jewels in the stone walls and the sands below your feet.
Okay, keep moving. Is it? I'm imagining like little flickers, like little shimmers of reflections.
It is as if there are coins buried beneath the sands. Little bits of metal here and there.
I want to see if I can pull them out. Like, are they loose or are they embedded?
As your gauntleted hand clasps a bit of sand and sifts through it, you find 3 copper pieces in your hand. This hallway, the 2 branching paths are lined with these coins within the sands. Some of them half buried. Hundreds of coins.
Does it seem like it's all the same color, meaning probably likely all copper?
I don't know what the same meaning is, but yes, they all seem like they're the same sort of coin shape. Yes.
Different. I was basically implying different metals are gonna give off different reflections. Tones
Copper
of light.
reflections all throughout.
Okay. I don't know what any of this means, but seems some money was lost throughout here. Perhaps treasure drug out? One suggestion?
Or in.
Wow. All I can say is, unless I take 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic, we won't know if there's anything valuable here besides simply a little bit of coin. But then again, it only lasts 10 minutes as well.
Are there any tracks in the dirt at all? Footprints or drag marks?
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Oh, well,
18.
18.
18. You find no boot footprints or human footprints of any kind, save for what looks to be as if something many-legged has trampled the earth here and there on their feet ending in almost pinpoints, almost like many needles treading the earth.
Oh dear.
How high is top of the cavern?
20 feet, 2 stories above your heads.
He's going to keep an eye up above just in case.
Sure.
Well,
When you guys were at the crash skyship, didn't you get attacked by some scorpion things? Or something of that nature?
Brood? The brood? Is that what you're referring to,
I
Jewel?
don't remember what they were.
oh, there were brood.
They had a lot of legs. Maybe there
Mhm.
could be some here.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Riot will take the shield out and we'll put it to the ground and see if there's any tremors. Within 30 feet of them.
Getting your broodmother bulwark and closing your eyes for a moment, you blind yourself, focusing on your other senses. As a bonus action, you touch the kite shield to the ground, close your eyes, concentrate. While constricting your blood, you create an instantaneous pulse of awareness around you. You detect subterranean tremors, maybe 30 feet ahead of you. And 30 feet below you.
There are tremors around here, in front and below us by 30 feet.
Well, if you
In
can feel
front
its
and below
vibrations.
us?
I was gonna say, if you can feel its vibrations, chances are it can feel ours.
Most likely. We can continue on and see what it is. Which path you want to choose? North or east or south?
Hang on. Do you want to cast Detect Magic? Maybe there's something invisible around here?
I would have to take 10
Take
minutes
the
to do a ritual cast.
I think it's worth it.
Does everybody else agree?
Sure. I mean, that's no problem.
Right, we'll take 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic.
Right, takes 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic. In those 10 minutes, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna just be on watch. I'll stand around him, sort of just patrolling, watching.
Sure, roll me a perception check. The rest of you guys, what are you guys doing those 10 minutes?
Same. Standing guard.
But yeah, basically, that's it.
Alright, you stare into the space ahead of you for some minutes.
That's just a 14.
14. Catching your eye, Julian. Maybe a little bit 15 feet to the south of you, leaning on the cavern wall and half buried beneath the sand, is what looks to be like a leather-bound journal.
Oh. You said 15 feet to the south?
Yeah, where you're standing there. Yeah.
Around here?
Yeah.
I'll pick it up.
Picking it up, you find that the front leather cover features the sigil of the Allegiance of Farsight.
Huh. I'll open it. I'll just look into like the front cover. Is there like a name of who it belonged to?
The pages are soaked in old blood, smearing much of the ink writing within, but you can make out the journal owner's name penned upon the first page. This appears to have been belonging to archaeologist Lair Burdett. The
Why is
few
your journal here? Half burnt.
the few readable
Talking
pages
to myself. Go on.
tell you of her work for the Allegiance of Farsight. There's a record of artifacts retrieved throughout recent years from both Calmaro and the desert surrounding Akan'thal. Most records are noted to have been transcribed over to the Crystal Chateau's ledgers by bookkeeper Kim and his associates. You note the most recent entry, however, is yet to be reported back to the Allegiance. The entry dates back several weeks and details an expedition to the northern jungles of Marquette, where archaeological projects led by Burdett had her acquire an item she describes as the solar chronograph, and believes to be a key to further research at Calmaro. The entry ends abruptly, where the pages have been ripped out. From what little remains within the journal, you can ascertain that Burdett boarded the Sandgrouse skyship headed back to Akan'thal. But as you know, the skyship never made it to port.
Skyship heading back to Ankara, so it was flying in towards the city when it crashed. Oh,
there's
thank
no
you for
notes on
posting
the
all
right.
that. Solar chronograph.
Do you still have that, Naya? Or you gave it to Bardette?
I gave it to Bardette. She said it was something that was important to her, a family heirloom. And at that time, Shirley didn't know about any kind of possible doppelganger of some kind. And also, if this is her last entry, then it's possible that for this entire journey, we've been led here by whoever has taken her place.
But if she was on the skyship and the skyship crashed on before it got to the city, why is her corpse here?
Her corpse there. Maybe from there, maybe she got, I don't know, disoriented and found the caves herself and tried to find respite.
Yeah, it doesn't mean she died in the crash.
Guess not.
Do you remember seeing a corpse of Bardette at
Talking
the
about,
crash site? Does anybody really?
I was talking about why is her corpse here at the temple?
Exactly what Naya just described. You wander through the desert and stumble upon this place.
Or it could have just as easily
Maybe.
been dragged here.
Or led here. Same as us.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on to the journal.
From everything that
Bardette's journal.
from everything that I remember that was being said, was that from the person that we assumed was Leia Bardette said she saw it from the air. So if she did crash and survive, she could have made her way there, which was only about a few days' journey for her, probably on foot. So it is possible that she made it here, and whoever has been fooling us was a compatriot at the time, because it showed that several seemed like stab wounds killed her, not the fall, as Winston pointed out. So it is possible that she was assassinated here by whoever led us here.
And they seem to know, whoever was impersonating seemed to know quite a bit about her. So they either had an ability similar to mine where they can, when they impersonate someone, they, through that process, learns the basics about that person, Or if they don't have something like that, it means they spent time with her and got to know her at some point. So
Well, shall we continue our journey?
I guess the more I think about it, the more questions I have. Not gonna get any answers like this.
Well, gotta find the answers.
Will, describe to me your ritual that you're going through as a druid, as you're trying to detect the magic around this place.
So basically, what he's doing is he's taking out, just using his claw, just extending it, drawing druidic patterns of Melora and Saheen into the sand, weaving them together almost in like a Celtic rope design around him, as if vines are connecting each icon that he drew. And as he does, as he connects each rune, starlight seems to flare in each rune as he completes it. And he's just muttering to himself under his breath a prayer, a simple prayer, asking to borrow the power that has been bestowed upon him, and simply to find out what is the mysteries going on here, to protect them, to guide their very steps that they're going to be walking towards, knowing that there's danger all around, and in hope to find out why water itself won't even survive here.
A dry, hot swivel of wind surrounds you as the runes around you aglow and spread out from you for a moment before entering the swirl and gusting toward your hands, melt into starlight as your entire form, for just a moment, shimmers outwards, and it all concentrates into your eyes, and you see through a lens revealing. You see the glow of various magical, wondrous items upon the backs and carried upon the satchels of your companions, the mighty great sword upon your paladin's back, the glow of the jewel thick prayers. Though the shimmer of the coins doesn't catch glint off the torchlight, it does not attract any of the weave, therefore does not detect on your senses any sort of magical trap or enchantment so far. But I'll keep that in mind as you're casting a spell, concentrating upon it for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah. And I'll make sure I have a 30 feet radius, so Riot will just move where we make sure it touches all the walls and like that to see if anything will come aglow.
Okay.
And you lead us going forward?
Yeah. Riot will be right
You mentioned
behind
there's like a
as
tremor 30 feet in front of us. So.
Yeah. Riot will go down to what seems like a door to see if anything lights up for him there.
The doorhead, while closed, does not seem magical now.
You guys want to go through this door down here, or do you want to keep going east?
I'd rather check out the bend first before we open the door, because we know that there's a door there, so we know there's an end to that tunnel. I'd like to see what's towards the other end.
Then lead on, glorious fellow.
Onward.
Lead on, McDuff.
Fair enough. You proceed through the hall, through this chamber of hundreds of coins in the sands. The hall stretches onwards another 30 feet before turning a corner toward light. Brazier light.
Raise your light. Oh, that's you. Okay.
Oh dear God.
Around the corner, as you go and turn it, you see an enormous cavern filled with marvelous treasure. An opening in the ceiling shines light into the room that reflects everywhere on 1,000 tiny mirror-like surfaces, and the glow seems to hang like sparks in the air. The opening in the ceiling is circular in shape, approximately 15 feet in diameter, and lined with what looks to be molten glass, as if the very sandstone was exposed to galvanizing temperatures. A large standing mirror, edged with gold, sits in the middle of this dais, ringed by 8 pillars. 4 huge statues of seated figures are carved from the rock itself.
Riot is just like walking forward, like Julian would see his entire body shaking, kind of like a kid in a candy store going like, "Oh, mama, oh no," that kind of like
I feel you,
sensation.
Julian.
An aura of
man, I
enchantment
feel-
magic radiates off the braziers. Familiar one, that of ever-burning torches.
What about these items that I'm seeing in if they're even there? I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Are they pinging anything?
Some, yes. It is a blinding aura all throughout.
A blinding aura all throughout.
Yes.
Like the gold coins itself, the items.
The items
all
you're
that.
looking at that you question me, like, are emitting
Okay.
blinding auras of magic, yes.
Riot will point out that over there, like these items here, they are magical. Riot will point out this
is a
one,
huge hall.
and there's a staff over there. He'll keep walking forward though, while he has 10 minutes, and just wander around slowly. He's staying away from the dial currently, but I know that I am getting in the range of it to ping to know what it is. Like if there's any magic coming off of it.
There is.
What kind?
I'm looking it up. Because I'm moving over the map, so I'm trying to catch up. From the mirror surface, you take a conjuration magic.
Conjuration. Okay.
What is this? If nobody's picking it up, I'll pick it up. This thing here.
You pick up what looks to be a long copper blade weapon of some sort. Ancient, by the looks of it. It feels hot in your hands. As you do, the rest of you see a blob of yellowish light sort of conjure above Winston's head, about half a foot in diameter, and hovers over him. Then looking above yourselves, you see similar blobs above your heads. One for each of
All
you.
of us?
Yes.
This thingy over here that I see. I will move towards it.
Roll me a d100.
I'm gonna just start filling my pockets with gold.
13.
13. Right, what you see there is a gilded birdcage.
Any magic coming off of it?
No. But it looks expensive.
Right, will call out to Clandestine. Do you have any need for something like this?
Clandestine seems to be in awe, but a lot more concerned about the ever-growing blobs of light sort of tendriling out above your heads at this point, growing in size. And she seems to be pointing her clawed finger at those. So she had the one above Julian, and as Julian just fills his bucket. Julian, go ahead and roll me d10. You pick up scoops of it, like 25, 35, 40, 50 gold pieces in your hands, just shoving in your pocket. Go ahead and add 50 gold pieces to your pocket there. We have Sir Winston, I guess, dropping the sword where it is.
Oh no, I don't know, I'm just holding on to it. While holding on to it, I came over here to take a look at this weapon here. That's just took them all.
Okay, I'll come back to you then. Nia, what are you doing?
He left Discord chat.
Okay. I'll figure that out later. You see a two-handed maul on the floor there. Probably fit for an ogre to wield. But somebody of mighty heft and might be able to lift this. Certainly you.
The copper blade, is it one-handed or two-handed that I had picked up?
You can carry it in one hand.
Okay. I let me ask.
When Riot,
Does it feel like a
Sorry.
heavy weapon?
No.
Okay, so I would drop the blade, and I want to pick up the maul.
Sure.
I would just call out, say hold on to it, put it in the bag of holding, or hold it.
Sure, I'll put the copper
When
blade in
Riot
the
looks
bag.
at the motes of light or blobs of light above our heads, what kind of magic does that appear to be?
Conjuration.
Conjuration.
So I'll put the blade in my bag. I'll pick
That's
up the maul,
scary.
and I also want to do a divine sense. Whatever turn order. So everybody else gets a turn.
Okay.
But I will do divine sense here.
Sure thing. You sense the haunted ground feeling that you got from the entrance has sort of dwindled away with you besting those undead. It has shrunk to a linger. Not as intense as before, and barely traceable. Aside from that, you don't detect any fiends, any fiendish or celestial presence in this room. What you do detect, as the rest of your party continues to rummage through treasure and investigate around, you wander through this chamber, and the glint of treasure illuminating you from below. And you see these glowing wisps of light hovering over your heads from above. You sense an electric charge in the air that makes your hair stand on end. The very air seems to buzz with energy. There's a smell of ozone, like that of pungent chloride bleach, that permeates the air like the coming of a great storm. And then you see it, outlined in the treasure pile right beside you there, Winston. Outlined is a large reptilian creature, slowly revealing itself as its form slowly unmelds from the sandstone camouflage that transform into that of like vibrant cobalt scales. It's crouched. Its posture is like that of a predatory stalking cat. And it creeps ever closer to you. You can make out its shape from here. Its serrated scales are covered with painted handprints of minions and admirers, as well as scars from less venerating encounters. You can see the elemental energy crackling as it seeps out between the scales and dances between its teeth, sending arcing lightning in brief flashes throughout. And then it utters this terrifying guttural sound, which you realize is actually laughter, as it rotates its writhing snake-like tail to completely unveil itself from beneath the treasure.
I would be like, heads up! We got some sort of snake over here.
Some sort of snake rises to its full posture before you.
Riot's just picking down and pick up the bow. Oh, it's a fucking dragon.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
You hear...
Good day to you.
You hear... As I'm trying to activate it, just give me a moment here.
Why is Nick not here? Rice is putting that big bow that he has by him that's probably magical in his bag right now.
Still grabbing all the shinies.
Behold, Akan'thal, the skyship's scourge, bane of the desert sands, and the true emperor of the Rumadam. My bargain's end delivered. I am ready to receive my due reward. As master of storms, your treasures mine to claim. A mighty boon. So fine a gift. As you were, my claw, my wing, my talon, so shall you be my eyes. Here, then, is your choice, your reward. Submit, serve, or perish. It opens its maw. and you see unleashing these arcing lightnings in a threatening gesture. What do you do?
What do you want us to do in servitude?
You imagine from the way it speaks, it demands absolute loyalty. To serve a dragon of such might is to commit to its will and whim. From the way it speaks, it wishes to dominate the Ruminant Desert and the riches beyond. To conquer under the wings of a dragon is to become its army. This being, claiming this Dane as its own, means to gather enough power to become a challenging authority to all that you've come to know so far. Akan'thal, the City of Rain, the Emperor, the people. All destroyed and serving under it.
I'm gonna establish a telepathic link between all of us and ask, right, do you see magic emanating from the sky?
I'm too far away from it right now. It only goes 30 feet, and I'm standing over here in a corner.
Well,
Can you get closer, please?
get over here.
You cannot.
Right.
You must make a decision. You
Well,
can't just ignore it talking to you.
that thing looks pretty real to me. I can always shoot there must be I can shoot a gold coin with this bow and see if it's real.
No, let's not do that. Well, so I'll speak to the dragon.
What was its name?
What size is this? Like, wormling, young, adult,
Seems to be hundreds of years old.
big? Okay, bigger. Hundreds? Okay, just bigger. Not ancient. I'll flat out say, well, we are the party of fate's fortune, and we make decisions as a group. We are united, and it must be a united decision. So, if you don't mind, I must confer with my party here.
It gestures toward its treasure, and among it you can see buried beneath the gold are the bones of those who refuse its offer. You may talk to your party, but you know the alternative choice is.
Understood.
Having gotten a bit of information from its introduction monologue of itself, Naya will draw upon her dragon lore just memory, stockhold memory from her time going through the Codex of Draconis to try and see if she can remember anything extra that would help them in this situation with this dragon.
Sure, you do that. Go ahead and read a whisper I just sent you.
With your knowledge recall, could you determine how old this dragon is?
Whisper in Discord?
It looks like whisper in Roll20 chat where we're playing. From the looks of it, it looks to be hundreds of years old.
I didn't get anything.
Hundreds doesn't sound that.
Oh, there it is.
Right.
Is that maybe? No.
It's the only thing that's in yellow and a whisper, and it says Tunia.
You scroll all the way down to the bottom of the chat.
Sir Winston, what is it that you want to confirm with your party?
Oh, yeah. Well, clearly we have an ultimatum with, this gent over here. I'm not so sure, we could win this fight. But, wanted to see what you guys think.
Alright, we'll move close enough to where just where the edge of the aura will touch the dragon. Is it just magical or is it real?
It's real. It's not an illusion.
Ryan will say, not illusion, Julian, not illusion. Repeat, not an illusion.
Can you determine if it's like polymorphed or anything like that? Or shape changed?
It is not showing anything like that.
Is it thing that you said about the breath weapon, is that what you sent up me, Tom, in whisper?
Yes.
Okay, I did get it. It doesn't say.
Right, we'll call it to the dragon. Are you the one that sunk the ship that is in the middle of the desert?
It proudly admits its own conquests.
All you hear, Julian, is "Son of a bitch!"
Naya would look back up at the ceiling and then back towards her, ceiling to the dragon to her party and be like, "This is no illusion. This is no polymorph. This is a dragon. That hole, it was through a breath attack. Or a breath weapon is how he got in here. So this is not a drill, people."
Julian will hear in his head, "I don't see how we're going to get out of here alive, and I don't see any one of us wanting to really submit to this thing. Just saying."
So what do you suggest?
Oh, this is to Julian. Julian can say it to everybody else.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
This
I'll pass on the
is through
message.
telepathy.
Advise
Only
opinion.
Julian can hear whatever we say to him.
Great form
Well,
of communication.
Just talk. Let's assume that he's passing information. What do you suggest?
Grab what we want and
Whisper.
bolt.
You want to run from him? He can
Dragons
fly.
Dragons are vengeful creatures, and like our dear cat friend, very attracted to shinies. So
Where would we fly? Where would
they
we run
won't
to?
he won't just let us go without either defeating him or agreeing to some kind of bargain.
By the way, the amulet's underneath Raya's entire outfit, and it's actually hidden under his armor. It's not like free floating for the dragon to see. Just wanted Tom to know that.
It speaks as if it knows of its locations of its existence from a prior encounter with you. And it is at that moment you look into its eyes and you can see the familiar pattern in those black eyeballs and those glowing, almost amber-like eyes. You are looking into Layla Bardet's eyes.
Son of a fucking whore.
Bastards led us into a trap.
But we gave you the compass.
Right?
I gave
can
you delicious food. Can we be
Right.
friends?
Right?
And you
Can
shall
you,
give unto me everything else. All that you are. Your servitude. Your things. Your life.
Right? Can you sense if the sundial is here?
Do I sense it? Do I see
You-
any glow from it?
You see, looking around real quick, you can see that it is embedded into the very top of the mirror-like object at the very center of this room, over yonder.
Raya's just gonna take a look there and be like, just slow nod, and be like, I think we're gonna have to fight this guy for what we want, if we want that thing, or to even use the mirror. I think this might be a fight with no way out.
I'm really hoping this thing.
You guys,
Yeah, I'm hoping your estimate of it only being a few hundred years old.
you
is
guys are not
accurate.
making a very good attempt at trying to deceive it into servitude or
Yeah,
anything.
I know.
I'm going to give Sir Winston one last chance to address the part like he wanted to from the beginning. As you can see it take a more hostile sort of stance. It's been through the stance 1,000 times before you, and it will continue the stance 1,000 times after you, should you perish here. Winston, what is it that you want to do?
I want to hold up the mall and be like, if I serve you, do I get to keep this?
You'll have to win it. For that is a weapon wielded by my champion. And my champion must claim their place on top of all other disciples. The price is power, it is blood.
You get a sense that you'll have to fight your own companions for it.
Arena comes early.
What if the rest of us don't want it?
Using
Can we just let him have it?
I just want to let him talk.
using the telepathy. Here's an idea. How about I fight all of you, and you take that opportunity to run out of the cave.
And you're
I
not
don't know if
fighting
that's
us.
gonna work. I don't know if this is gonna work.
And if we play it off well, it'll look like I am trying to win favor, giving you the opportunity to run.
What are you gonna do?
Hell if I know! Chase after you, that's what I say. I'm gonna get you.
I don't think this is a good idea.
This is not gonna work.
Well, what do you suggest then? That's my idea. How else are we gonna... We're just gonna stroll out of here?
Hey,
I think we might need to succumb to him.
look where Naya is. She is literally right next to the thing. Clandesta and I, we're probably good. Julian, probably good. Naya, she's fucked.
I think
I can't
we might
fly
need to
on
succumb
myself.
to him.
I can fly away.
I can move 120 feet and get all the way down this corridor. Pretty sure Clandestine can do almost the exact same thing.
I'm pretty sure dragons can fly for a very long time, though, without the rest that we need. We're not gonna run away from this thing, even if we get out of the tomb.
Mhm.
No, we're not. We're gonna be fighting this thing. We can't get away from this area without killing it.
Then
I
so
mean-
shall it be.
How bad could servitude be?
And then Naya kind of just whispers to the group, and she's kind of like, I think my ability from Basil's Line, I think that was a one-time deal. I don't think I'll be
Damn
able
it,
to
Nia.
replicate it.
Damn it, Nia.
We're all fucking lined up for a breath attack too. Jesus Christ.
You guys are. I'm not.
I'm
Because
behind the pillar.
lightning is a straight line. So
I'm a little confused here. So you're shooting down my idea, yet you're offering nothing in turn except we're fucked. That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, how bad could servitude be?
I have no idea. Shit. Why not?
well,
You find that there's glory in servitude to a dragon, Winston.
I don't know. He's got a room full of shinies. You should imagine you'd be his best friend.
but he won't share.
That's the problem.
That is also a big problem. We want the shinings.
Be more deceitful, just as I'm trying to be.
Naya would go kind of like in a very like hands up, head down, kind of like almost like in a bowing gesture, would walk over this way and be like, "Oh, I still didn't catch his name. What's his name?"
Akan'thal.
Can you type that out?
No.
Oh, mighty Akan'thal.
Sound it out.
Oh, mighty Akan'thal. Great dragon of lightning and storms. We are but lowly adventurers and don't have much to offer you.
That's not a
Cool, then perish.
story, Naya. Like,
It opens
knows
its
we
maw,
have
and you see an
ambulance,
electric
free
charge
prayers.
emit forth from its maw.
we are worthless. You might as well get like.
Naya, do you wish to do anything else on your turn? 'Cause Winston, you can stay where you were. We're in initiative at this point.
I know.
I'm just giving Naya a chance. I'm tracking her movement. I'm letting her commit to an action at this point. We are not but adventurers and have not much to offer you. Anything else you say to it or wish to commit to any action?
Dodge.
We are adventurers, and as such, we are very. What is the word? We're very skilled at coming across items of value, and though we may not have many things with us of you would find of value, we could perhaps be of use to you, and being a little bit more subtle in perhaps acquiring other items that you desire.
it states that the items it desires are upon you at the very moment. This is a being that has been trekking the desert with you for the last several days, targeting you for the jewel 3 pair of prayers. It knows what it wants, and it shall claim it, whether or not you offered it or not.
We're not giving up.
I guess
the jewel
servitude
free
isn't an
prize.
option. It would ask for the jewel in return.
Yep.
I'll be your champion, and I will hunt these fools down.
Protect us, Winston.
Then
No, I'm talking to
Wait.
rid me of the weak. I do not want to trouble myself with nothing but the best of accolades. The last one standing shall have the honor of serving me and my court forevermore. This is the purpose you were brought here for. This is what you were chosen for. Now rise. Nia, and any actions on your turn? We're just waiting for you to finish your turn. Anything you wish to commit to as you see this situation escalate? It has brought you
Suddenly
here.
the celestial room doesn't seem so bad.
Yes, it has. This dragon, it appears, has brought you here for this trial. Has tricked you, as blue dragons do, to bring you to its own lair to see the last challenger standing serve it forevermore. That is its reward unto you. To escape such a bargain is to slay it, or to escape from here. So I'm giving you a chance to commit to action or anything. If you wish to deceit it into serving it, you'll have to turn upon your friends. Like Winston is.
Naya would turn towards Winston and draw a pair
We're
of
actually gonna fight
daggers.
each other?
Yay. It. God.
It's so thematic. There's a thunderstorm going on outside my room right now.
Yeah, same right up here too. Like the fucking perfect day for a blue dragon.
No, it's awful because that means if Tom's getting it, it's gonna hit me and then it will hit you, Will.
It's already here.
No, it's a different one because he's way west of you.
Megan, you're holding initiative hostage a little bit here. I'm gonna
I
have
said
to
I
flip.
was done already.
Okay.
I said she turned towards Winston and drew a pair of daggers.
Okay.
We're actually fighting each other?
Alright, you see Clandestine. She is already has like quenched her torch and has slunk into what she is trying to find the shadows of this place. She's slinking toward like behind this rock here, but just before she disappears out of your view, she gives you a look as if to say, "What are we doing?" She mouths off like, "What is going on? What are we doing?" Do you wish to guide her in any sort of way, or do you want her to act on her sort of her own volition here?
Riot will hold up his fingers essentially as he did as kids with her when they were trying to sneak and like stay out of sight, and he will basically give her the sign of like 3, 2, and 1, and then he pointed to the right and then left first, knowing that is to get out.
Okay, so she's gonna go ahead and take a bonus action to hide. I'm gonna roll that stealth check for her versus the ever perceptive dragon. Stealth.
Oh no! No! No!
Cool. That is a 8, and then we have Akan'thal. I'm just changing his name real quick, as well as his sheet. There we go. Versus a passive perception of 19. Okay, so you just see the dragon very subtly like turn its head to gaze, and amidst this like rising hiss from its throat as it spots her, she fails to stealth away, but she remains behind a rock, bracing against it. Julian, it is your turn.
Are we running?
Ryan just gave he wants her out of here, but
You heard
nobody
my
else-
plan. I set it in motion since nobody was doing anything else.
Now's not the time for decision paralysis, right? You are... Oh no, sorry. Julian, you're on deck. Is he muted or something, or is he thinking?
Oh, I was muted. I'm sorry.
Okay, go for it.
Are we fighting this thing? Are we running?
Winston's turning on us. We don't know anything else. He's saying it's to deceive. That's all we know. Whether he'll fight us or not, we don't know.
You want to run?
Run!
Do
Run!
what you're gonna do. We need the sundial.
I'm gonna
We need the sundial?
move here and cast Fairy Fire on him. Dexterity saving throw.
You got it. $19. With a
That beats.
That beats with a lazy beat of its wing. It just sends a gale force that crackles through the air and just cooks the magic in its space before it even reaches it.
Yeah. I'm gonna... My game just crashed. But I'm gonna bonus action dash and run south 30 feet. 40.
40 feet. You run 35 feet south before you collide with the wall.
Okay.
Do you wish to... Oh, end your turn here. Fair enough. You see the dragon take wing as it flutters. It sends forth the pile of gold around it, just scattering all throughout. The electric charge working its way through the golden metal, conducting through the treasure itself and bouncing off the gemstones. As it takes off into the air, it flies up and in a sort of arcing motion around the chamber, lands here.
Oh, god damn it.
And it's using the mirror as a sort of a cover. It pivots its head around it and lets go a line of lightning charge. Can I get both Nia and Winston as you try and brace against it to make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
How can I hit both of us? I'm really curious.
Dragon.
Oh,
It's
right
not
between.
your breath, it's a
It's
dragon
not-
breath.
I guess, yeah.
18. Okay.
Yeah, just waiting for both rolls before I narrate. Okay,
17.
as you, Winston, step forward with your shield and you brace against it, it hits your shield and sends the electric jolt through you, but your armor grounds you, so you suffer only half the damage, and you sort of rebound the other half of the attack away from Nia as well. So both of you only suffer the half of 10d10 lightning damage.
Nia, are you resistant to lightning damage?
No.
You're not?
I feel like I should be, but I'm not.
That is
Two blue dragon?
32 lightning damage.
Does being a blue dragon make me immune to my own element?
I thought Dragonborns had a resistance to like their own element.
Figure it out. That is the damage as it ends its turn there. We then have Sir Winston.
Winston, this thing just attacked you.
Yeah, it's testing him.
There we go. No. I have to figure out the health thing in a minute. Okay. Well, fuck, that hurt.
Winston, as you're, by the way, as
Yeah,
you're holding your maul in your hands, there, it gets charged with a lightning breath, and the end of it begins to glow this bright cyan blue and arc with lightning. It seems to have like absorbed some of the elements.
Okay. Well, I imagine that he's going to be immune to his own element, so it'd be pointless to hit him with it. I would.
Might only be resistant.
Kick.
Still
I'm
electric
gonna
damage.
kick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna shove Naya. Like, I'm gonna try and push her into that pillar up this way. Like, you know, straight up. I have the small in my hands. I'm just gonna like straight up Spartan style with the ball of my foot, just kick her backwards.
Cool. If you were DM, how would you have me like handle this? What sort of interaction is this?
I guess it would be an unarmed strike in some way. Shove, maybe.
Yeah, like,
Shove, really.
is it like a bonus action? Is it an action? What would you say?
No, this is my action. Yeah. I'm taking instead of attacking with my maul, I'm kicking.
Neat. I think it's only fair to give Megan's character an opportunity to fight back against this, but of course, if you're willing to fail the save, which you're always obliged to, you can get shoved like 10 feet back.
You gonna shove me into a pillar?
Yeah, run. Fucking go.
I don't. Okay.
That happens.
we ain't. Yeah. You think we're gonna take this down? I have no spell slots. I got no smites. I got no health. Figure it out. So I'd kick you. And I'd say run, and then I'm gonna use my bonus. I will use my bonus action for aggressive to move towards Julian. Let's see here. Feet. And then I'm just gonna do some sort of flavor here, shouting, "You can't hide from Master Akan'thal.
So,
And
I love the flavor. Very, very good flavor. The only thing about aggressive, you must end your turn closer to the creature than when you first started. You just ran from 20 feet to 30 feet away from it.
No, I'm running towards Julian. I'm closer.
Okay, sure. Yeah, he's your aggressive target. Okay, gotcha.
Is that?
No, I mean, he's a hostile creature to you. That's fair enough.
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty then. I like the flavor too. Anything else on your turn?
Nah, that's it.
Okay, Ryan.
So how tall is this statue thingy? The mirror?
It's
Akan'thal
it's perfectly circular and it's about 10 feet in diameter.
Okay. Riot.
You look into it, you can see your reflection, but you don't see the room that you're in reflected in it. You see multicolored tapestry, you see a gilded floor, like almost like marbled white. You see blue glass sort of woven into the walls throughout. It's a different room entirely.
I don't know if this is a free action or not to pick up a piece of gold and just like toss it at the mirror. I don't know if that's a free action or not.
Oh, well, it's picking up an action, tossing. Yeah, sure.
I just want to throw it at the mirror to see if it will go through the mirror or if it's going to bounce off.
It vanishes into the mirror, and there's a ripple in the glass. And you can see the coin in the reflection, quote unquote. The coin lands on the floor on the other side of the mirror.
Riot's going to shoot a message. I'm just going to shoot a message to Julian in the head. Say, the mirror. You can go through the mirror. And with my, is this mall over here magical?
Every time you're gonna go, because the map is my work of art here, but I'm gonna say every time you go through a treasure, that's gonna use your entire action to essentially roll me a dice and see what you find.
Perfect. Riot's gonna go do that because I can double his speed. He's gonna go for treasure.
Go ahead and roll me roll me investigation as you are going through the treasure. That's gonna be your action.
Yep. And I'll give myself. Oh, I can't give myself guidance.
That's awesome! Lightning and thunder from my window. That's awesome.
Investigation, eh?
Yes.
God damn it! There it is.
14. 14. Rummaging through, you see a silver-plated sickle with like a diamond set in the hilt. The sickle has sort of steepness treasure and it seems to be arcing that same lightning. When the dragon sort of flew up and then like charged the very air. The entire treasure has been like sort of immersed in this. There's a little zap coming off the sickle that stings your paw, but the sickle looks like this, my friend. Let me just show you a picture of it for coolsies.
Oh, is it a moonsicle? Oh. All right. He's just gonna put that into the bag of holding.
You just hear the dragon roar in your direction. Not yours to claim. But I mean, like, you're taking aggro essentially. Your entire fur begins to stand on end as you become like this little fuzzy puffball full of static. And then you put it away. Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to save the party right now.
Okay. So, at the end of this round, you guys hear the grind of stone as the 4 seated statues animate into motion. One shoulder, 2 shoulder, dust coming off them as they rise up. Their hands unarmed but ready to smash. You have 1,
dear
2,
God.
What?
3, 4 statues animated into motion. I'm going to go ahead and put that under 6 initiative. They're going to spend their entire turn awakening into position. It is now top of the round. We have Nia back up.
I'll tell her telepathically, the mirror might be safe. Get into the mirror.
Get clandestine while you're at it too.
Yeah.
He's fast. She
I'm,
can get there.
I'm letting Megan talk here. It's her turn, guys.
You heard the message. Naya will spend her movement to move forward towards the mirror. And she will use her action to... I don't know how tall is this. How tall is this thing? Is it like tall or...
It's
is
10
it, like,
feet in diameter, both wide and high. Perfectly circular.
She is gonna take her action to hide. Kind of like take cover.
From this dragon's height and the layout of his room, you are in plain sight of it. You cannot hide in plain sight.
Fine. With that, she's going to she's going... God. So many things on the sheet.
Everybody look at your sheet and discuss, sort of brainstorm what you're going to do on your turn while Megan's taking hers.
So basically, she's gonna take out her her Lair, and she's going to play a melody and use counter charm. Which is just an active effect.
You gain the ability to use magical notes and a word's power to disrupt mind-influencing effects. As an action, you can set a performance that lasts until the end of your next turn. During that time, you and any friendly creature within 30 feet of you have advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. A creature must be able to hear you, which they all can. Yep, nice. So 30 feet away from you, I'm going to go ahead and put that aura on you for my sake as well. Okay. Anything else in your turn? I think she says that's it. Okay. Clandestine press between a rock and a heart and another moving rock is going to enter the fray, taking.
You could disengage.
She's not in range of it.
Oh.
Taking cover here from, and then peeking from around the pillar, she's going to go ahead and release a light crossbow arrow. This is going to be at advantage, so let's roll again. Against the dragon's hide, failing to penetrate it, and failing her sneak attack, she will then attempt to go behind the pillar and roll above a 19 for hide. Stealth. Managing to actually hide this time. From the dragon alone. Okay then. I'm just looking for a icon for hidden. Sure. Julian, your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna run towards the mirror. Can I enter inside of it?
If you can reach within 5 feet of it, yes.
Yep, I still have 10 feet of movement left. Once I've approached the mirror, I'm gonna try and sort of leap inside of it, or I don't know, hop inside of it.
Yeah,
Gonna like sort of like try to hop in with like a shoulder just in case, you know, he bounces off of it.
Okay, for a moment, all grows bright silver white, as with a flash, you find yourself tumbling through space and onto a cold stone floor. The sound of the dragon's roar grows muted behind you. The sound of your friends yelling in your wake grows all mute, silent, numb, as you end up elsewhere. For the sake of this, I'm going to keep you on the map, but you're in another room entirely.
Okay.
Looking around, I'll show you what you see, actually, at the end of your turn, because it's only fair. You are... I'll show you. Let me put this map right beside this one, so we have... You are here, Julian.
What? Does this building look familiar to me?
The constructions might be, but you only have your gut feeling. You've never been in this chamber before. And you look behind you, and you only see your reflection and the room you're in.
Can I like poke my hand through the mirror again?
You touch the cold surface
My
of the
hand.
glass.
Oh,
The sound of
okay.
companions, the roar of dragon, the treasureful chamber, the gold, all gone. And now it's only your reflection touching yours. The fate of your companions, unknown. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
Can I still talk to them telepathically? This has a mile range. Am I farther from them than that?
You utter any imagery in your mind, any words that continue forth, and you don't feel a connection.
Bye, Julian.
I guess I'll just step back from the mirror, look around, try and get some kind of sense. Is there like a window or something that I can see out of?
There is. All the blue spot. I wonder if I can open them up for you, actually. What do you see right now? What does your character see? You can see outside right now, Joe. I don't know why you're pretending like you can't.
I just figured there weren't like walls or something.
Yeah, all the blue surfaces are cerulean glass windows.
Okay.
That
When I look
contraption,
outside-
that contraption north looks familiar. You can go ahead and like sort of mule over your current situation and come up with some sort of plan. Okay, as I'm gonna move on to the combat on the other side of the mirror. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Bye, Julian.
See ya.
All right. Fair enough. We have then the blue dragon's turn. As he turns to you, Riot, you who grabbed the scythe and stashed away. You watch as it takes wing once more and airborne, about 20 feet off the air, maneuvers charging toward you. Akan'thal is going to roll a d6. Looking for a 5 or a 6 here. You can see it charge up its lightning breath, the horn upon its face crackling, but it's taking time to charge up. The scales illuminating, but not fully, as it dives towards you. And this is going to be a flanking attack against you. The first claw attack for a grasping 27.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, you are grappled in its talons and lifted up for the remainder of its movement. It is now 35. 80 minus 35 is that's 25. 45. Half of 45 is like I'm gonna say it's 20 feet off the ground rather. 20 feet in the air. And it's going to commit a normal claw attack against you, lifting you up for a 21 to hit.
That actually misses because I have a shield in hand and I have the amulet. My armor class is 22.
And as it brings you closer to its maw, it's going to be a bite attack for 18.
Misses!
You,
It bites the shield.
struggle for your life as it just roars you. Drop it. Return what's not yours, and I shall spare ye, or consider it. But with that being said, it's the end of its turn. We have Sir Winston.
You have that amulet, right? And that has like the ability. Okay, you can break grapple.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you can break grapple. So below me, or where I'm standing, I keep moving my icon just to see what's on the ground here. Is this something? Is this a item?
So, for the sake of this beautiful map and not having you guys sort of strategize around my art, every time you go through the treasure pile, I'm going to have you roll an investigation check. The higher you roll, the better the item you're going to find. You will always find something as you're rummaging through. It's just the higher investigation, the better you are. So if you want to take your action to investigate the treasure pile, you can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, the
7?
dragon's 20 feet high, right?
20, yes. I'm gonna put, you're right, I should probably put like a little piece of text or something to indicate as such. Let me do that. Just so we can track that and I get confused. 20 feet. FT. 7 investigation from Sir Winston as you take an action to look for anything that might help you. Okay. Roll me a d12. Because there's like 12 different items you can find here. 2. You find a jar. Shining jar with what looks to be tadpoles, quite large ones, floating in this preserved chemical.
Well, I certainly love jars of tadpoles. I'm gonna nab that up.
You look closer and you can see instead of like tadpole mouths and tadpole eyes, they have almost no eyes. They're purplish in hue, almost purplish pinkish, transitioning, and they have many tentacly tendrils on their face, like an octopus face, and this long tail.
Oh joy, oh joy. These little critters. I'll collect the jar of critters, and I'll make my way over to the mirror.
Sure thing.
Oh, dear God, that's disgusting.
Many teeth.
Oh, nice. See if we can get somebody to drink it.
Julian.
Yeah.
So you make your way to the mirror.
Yep.
Do you have 5 feet of movement to enter it?
Shit, you can't hold an action to move. No, yeah, I'm gonna jump in.
Okay. Sir Winston jumps in with a jar of tadpoles, leaving Riot to his fate, I suppose. You, Sir Winston, end up here. Where's your token? Oh, you went to the elevator. You enter this room here, Sir Winston, and you see the cerulean blue windows. The flagstone below your feet almost gilded. A large central cushion piece, and a familiar machination to the north where Julian stands.
Okay.
You look behind you, you see your shining armor, your handsome, strong reflection, but the room you're in, not the other one. Not the treasure lair.
Okay.
I'll give you a few seconds to take in your surroundings and form a sort of plan should you commit to a next turn here before I give it back to Riot.
Gone to steal
Sounds
kitty.
good.
So, Riot's looking up at this dragon, and he was just like, you know what? You're really mean. You should be nicer to people, and then maybe they'll want to be friendly with you. You know what? Me taking this one item, it was simply just to see how you would react. But you were really mean to me. So, you know what? Take this. Riot's just going to close his eyes, and the dragon's going to be looking down at him, and all of a sudden, with it, because I know the dragon can, like, see through illusions, he's just going to see a really bright flare flare up from the amulet like a blinding flare, and then I'm going to use a charge to break grapple.
You break grapple, dropping 20 feet down below you.
3-point landing. Do I do like an acrobatics check or something on this or something?
I'll allow it.
Just simply, I was aware. Acrobatics.
You try and commit your feline reflexes, taking half of 2d6, taking 5 bludgeoning damage as you land back onto the treasure. It crackles beneath your feet as you land there.
Okay, 1 second.
In your fall, it swipes at you for a claw attack. For a 14 to hit, missing you, sparks flying off your shield as you land.
Okay, Riot's gonna be like, "You're so mean. I'm taking something else." As an action, he's gonna go through treasure one more time.
Fair enough.
Investigation. 15.
15. Roll me a d20.
Sure. 10.
10. You find a statue made from dark green stone of a figure standing dressed in a hooded cloak. That, when viewed from a certain angle, sort of looks like a dick.
Alright, I know what this is.
Dick Stone.
It's going to be like, "I'm taking this because you're mean," and then he's gonna click his feline reflexes and bolt 60 feet and jump right through the mirror.
That is not yours. That was given me by my most devoted of acolytes. Oh, come back!
It's now mine, sucker! And then he goes through the mirror.
All right.
And then he's saying, "Silver, go to the mirror!"
How much movement do you have, my guy?
I have 60.
Oh my god.
I double feline reflexes so I can double my movement speed from 30 to 60.
Alright, fair enough. You come through the mirror, huffing and puffing, almost bumping into Sir Winston over yonder. As you...
Oh, I jumped through. I would have ran into him.
You
I would have ran into him.
Clank into his fucking armor, pressing him against the pillar. As you end up elsewhere completely, the sounds behind you muted, you feel the crisp, cold air venting through the open windows of this room, with the light breeze working through this palace-like chamber. It is regal. There are velvet cloths weaving above your head. Sleeping quarters of some royal of some sort. You take in your surroundings.
So Winston would see a flying cat come through the mirror, and when he splats against his shiny armor, Ryan's blood basically going all over him because Ryan is looking so fucked up right now. He has 14 health.
Singed, galvanized, wounded.
Glad to see you made it out of the clutches of the dragon. Next time, maybe run. When everybody shouts run.
Look what I got. He's gonna hold up the Jade Dick statue.
Make me a religion check, Sir Winston.
Look what I get. And I'm gonna shove the jar of little leeches in his face. Not like smash it, but just like, look at these creepy little things. What do you want me to roll? Religion?
A religion check. As he presents the statue in front of you. It looks like a cloaked acolyte figure made out of like really dark jade-like stone, but somebody very, very obviously carved it to look like a penis head, with the way like the hood just falls over the head, and it's like a jade dildo.
Okay, good job. Good job, Riot. That's what you pull out of the treasure hoard.
I also got a sickle.
Okay, cool.
Lightning signal.
I'm going to go ahead and continue initiative to see what happens to your remaining party that you've left behind. These...
Well, I know Silver can make it. He's fine.
Stone golems animate into shape. And into motion. Okay, so you hear its footfalls slam upon the floor as it comes barreling onto Silver here and just slams her into the pillar. It's going to be 20 and 23 to hit against Silver's 16 AC.
Don't dodge Silver.
That's 44.
She's still up though, isn't she?
You're not there in the room.
Fuck you.
You left her behind. As
Hey, I'm still here.
you just hear the slam stone very muted as she gets pressed against the stone by one of them and held up against the pillar there. The second one animates into motion and advances toward the pinned feline companion of yours, and you see it lift up a hand, and in its palm the runic formations around the gem in its palm, like an Iron Man hand coming out, sort of thing. The runic formations look familiar to magic cast by Melina, the wizard among you, who escaped with the party for the sake of this brevity. As you watch that magic reverberate in the hand and unleash, a wave bends space itself and washes over Clandestine. It's gonna cast Slow. Clandestine will commit me a Wisdom saving throw of 2.
Nice. God damn it, my sister's gonna die.
As the shriek moves up to like a low reverberating, and just like becomes almost so low that it's pitch muted. On failed save, she cannot use reactions its speeds have and can make more than one attack on its turn. In addition, I get to make either an action or a bonus action, not both. Okay, slow down.
And is she grappled in some sense?
As she slammed against a pillar, she can still try and escape, but she can slam against the pillar. She's not in grasp of the creature now, so she's not grappled. Slowed.
I think
Okay.
she's within 30 feet of the thing.
Alrighty then. We have then another golem walking up toward Nia. And it's got charge. It's got using that action to dash to end its turn here. And another statue is going to go ahead and charge toward Nia. Nia, make me a wisdom saving throw as it too lifts its both arms, and you can see this bending space emanate from its arms as you resist the slow effect of it. It begins to slow you down, and you push out of that bubble, reaching toward escape. So that slow failed. And it's your turn. Nia.
It looked like these creatures can hear, or are they just animated stone?
They are looking at you. They sense you.
They sense me. That doesn't mean they can hear me.
They're not dancing a jig to your melody that you're playing right now. No.
Doing the robot.
Yeah.
The rope.
I want to use Dissonant Whisperer. I'm pretty sure it won't work. I don't think these things can hear me. A last-ditch effort to help Silver. She will, well, her counter term has no effect anymore, and she will cast, not that spell, this spell. She will cast Shatter.
Targeting which face?
I need to. It just says within range. Do I need to be able to specifically see it, or can I say that these things are tall enough I can see in between their legs?
You can see where you cast. You can see. You can see through them for the sake of casting a spell. Yes.
Wanted to cast kind of from. Kind of like here. So it should hit these two, but it shouldn't hit her.
Shatter. Alright, 10-foot radius sphere from. Let's draw a 10 radius sphere. No problem. 10-foot radius. This big. Okay.
con save.
And we have a creature here. So let's say it has to hit it. Okay. This will be. Do you see the drawing I'm making right now?
I was
You-
hoping to have it like 5 more feet, more kind of like to the like kind of like here. My goal is not to actually hit silver.
Ten, 10, 15. Sure, that can work. Cool. So you make an explosion rebound off the wall and send treasure just shrapneling toward these two statuette creatures. It is a Constitution saving throw from both of them, no problem. Can do. Constitution, eh? I have natural 20 and 20. 25 and 20.
Well, they still take half damage.
Yeah, of 8. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna even give you that one upcast there, because upcasting for no damage feels bad, so I'm gonna say 9 damage on each of them. And I believe a creature made of Innerground Introduction Stone has disadvantage on the saving throw, so it's gonna be 10 for one of them actually. So this one takes a full damage. Okay. One of them takes the full damage because they're both made out of stone.
And with that, Naya will just be like, Silver, run! Get to the mirror! As she jumps through the mirror.
I'm trying! And that's the last you see, you hear of her. Okay, cool. So, you jump into the mirror, and just like the rest of your party, you see this room over yonder. I'm gonna go ahead and leave you guys in this room to sort of collect your thoughts as I'll run the rest of the encounter real quick. All right, so we have
just playing by himself over there.
Well, I mean, consequence of your plan there, I guess. You guys are no longer here. Let me resolve this real quick. Trust me when I say I'm playing to the best of what a character can do in that moment.
And she's closed, so she can't bonus action. But she can.
I think she does the fan, which might be able to help her.
She can
Oh,
move
yeah.
30 feet.
It's hard because nobody's even left room for me to describe what's happening, but we'll see if she survives. That is just
Nope.
16, 17, 8.
She's down.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Uh, Interesting encounter, Tom. All right. As you guys reconvene in the palace room, what do you guys do? Nia, you just splash through glass into this cerulean room.
Kind of like on her hands and knees and just trying to catch her breath from running through the mirror. Would kind of look up, take in her surroundings, and immediately go to Thread and be like, he was pinned. I tried to shatter the stone golems around her, and I made contact with them. And I hope she was running behind me, but I don't know.
I'm just gonna stay here for now, wait.
Okay. You stare into your own reflection. The rest of the party, what do you guys do?
I would stand beside Riot in solidarity.
I'm sorry, Riot. There's no way back. I tried to go back once I could. My telepathy, it didn't work once I walked through. It got cut off. I couldn't warn you guys either.
To be honest, it looks like glancing out the window. We're in Akan'thal.
You see Ank'Harel below you. The view familiar. This is the skyscraper of the Cerulean Palace.
Shit, we're gonna get massive fines.
We're gonna
Why
have
was
to
there-
go forward.
Why was there a portal to the palace here?
This could be Jamonsor's room.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Does it, looking out the windows, does it feel like we are at the top, like the very top of the palace?
You've never been here.
Yeah.
This is your first time in this place.
Looking at
But
the window.
you're pretty high up above the city, hundreds of feet above
But
it.
that's what I mean. Like, just looking out the window, is there floors above this, or do we feel like we're at the very top of it?
You see more spires above you, yes.
More spires.
The contraption to the northwest side of the room seems to rest idle, but the tube upon which it seems to rest, there's more space above it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Is this
I'll
like a
start looking at this
Bed
other
or
stuff here.
a giant couch?
It is.
It's a
Bed,
love-
giant couch. Gotcha. Well, we can't go back to that tome anytime soon. Too many times soon. Knowing what
closed
awaits
doors?
us now.
They're open.
I'll start looking at what's on this desk over here, just trying to get my bearings as to whose room we might be in.
Sure. You find a whole bunch of documentation assigned by the Royal Court of Kyle Moreau, but the most prominent of which, the central piece, seems to be some sort of document to the Alfred Union of Akan'thal, a shipping company here, requisitioning a delivery of goods from the distant continent of Tal Doré. The seal, the signet upon the wax, seems to indicate some sort of a sapphire-like jewel embedded in a double-ended pyramid, and various writing around it leads to believe that these documents of the Emperor of Akan'thal, Jamon and his court.
Is this like an indoor pool?
It is.
Giant couches, more lounging chairs.
Expensive-looking
Dining table,
brass
indoor
work
pool.
on the tables, various instruments of navigation, observation of the city. There is a lens tube of some sort, perhaps made to absorb the night sky, and other instruments meant to absorb the city below.
Are these like balconies
Yes,
that lead outside?
yes.
I'll step out onto the balcony.
Fair enough. Nia and Wright, what's going on in this neck of the woods?
Ryan's still waiting.
Nyan
Yep.
waiting with him.
In the suspense of your wait, you count the seconds as your companions take in the awe of this room. You look onto your own reflection. It is an eerie silence as you begin to recall the days gone of you and your sister Riot. What sort of life memories fleet through your head as you think to yourself that you might have failed this time, that this time you failed to rescue her, you failed to keep her safe. Are there any sort of memories going through your head?
The entire guilt he felt from before when he first met her. Images of them as kids, running around, stealing from the parents, stealing from other people of the tribe. His entire, essentially, world crumbling around him. basically the similar turmoil that he felt when he lost his parents, he's feeling all over again. Yet this time he knows it was his fault. Naya would see Riot punching the mirror, and until his furry fists were bloodied, actually, quite literally.
You expect it to crack, and yet it doesn't. Instead, breaking skin.
Riot would fall on his knees and just cry in silence and just essentially be destroyed. You don't know what Riot will do. You don't know what Riot is thinking. His entire mentality is that of a person who just lost everything.
And as you go through that grief process, the adventure part of you tries to make reason of it. Where's the justice? Where's the fairness? Where in those fleeting few seconds you had choices to make, you must have done something wrong this time compared to before. You could have corrected it somehow. If you only could go back, what would you ever change? As your mind is going through the process of grief, the blame of it, everything but what is too soon acceptance. Anything but. You punch reflexively in the mirror one last time, and you feel something grasp your hand. It is your sister's paw as she pulls herself through, hella bloodied, wounded. You can see she, from beneath the cowl, there's just blood streaking upon her fur, and one eye absolutely wrecked. She's missing some fangs, but she's alive.
Riot was just going to grab her wrist, pull her the rest of the way through, and at level... Crap. Gotta go to my spells. At level 4, he's going to cast Cure Wounds on her.
You hear the rasp of her breath even. She stabilizes and then, in your arms, just faints.
She faints. Okay. Well, she takes 13 plus 18.
31 points of healing.
31 points of healing.
Fair enough. She's alive,
And
but weak.
Riot is just crying into her chest. And he's just cradling his sister. That's all he's going to be doing, is just holding on to his sister.
Julian, from outside a balcony, you glance toward the eastern side of the city. From here, you can see the sprawling Sun Herald district. You are trying to orient yourself. You can see the guided district in the far horizon where the temples of Akan'thal rest. And I should note, it is the dead of night currently. Stars shining above.
He kind of just wanted to take a moment to figured he's never gonna be back here. Wanted to take a moment to get the view from the balcony from this high up. You know, he's looking up at like the, I don't know if it would be called a palace. Would be called a
The spires, yes.
He's looking up the spires of the palace. He's looking down at the people. He's like feeling the wind for a bit. He's like doing all this as we're sort of like waiting for the news for Clandestine. And then he hears like the commotion going on inside, and he's gonna quickly make his way back inside. It's like, oh, thank God, she made it. I thought the worst for a minute there.
She's back.
She made it back with you guys.
That could have been so much worse.
Naya would just be there, kind of just having a hand on Riot's shoulder, just with a big smile on her face, and just would kind of put her head down, just being like, giving like a silent prayer of thanks.
So,
after she said her prayer, she'd kind of she'd rise her head and turn to Julian and say, "Where are we? Do you know where we are?" Because she hasn't really taken the time to look outside.
I think we're in the Emperor's Palace. I'm glad that we all made it out of there alive, but I don't think we can stay here. I think we need to get out of here.
Trying to get Silver even more back on her feet. She will also pass Cure Wounds.
You tend to her wounds, slowly they stitch together, but you are unable to restore the parts of her body she lost. The eye, though the blood stemmed, is still ruined in its socket. The teeth still missing. A few of her digits have been bent out of proportion, but you manage to heal up and stem the tide of blood for additional healing, I guess. She's still unconscious. Taking a moment to sort of put on the scales the treasures you managed to quickly pocket.
I'll carry her. I'll take her back. We can figure out what we get found later. I know Winston has 2 items. I can cast Detect Magic and see how shiny and bright they are, and Melina can... Oh god, where's Melina?
She's with you guys in room. Don't make me roleplay. Yeah.
I couldn't help myself, I'm sorry.
She gone.
she TPK'd herself. Melina can figure out what these are all for us later. I found a sickle, a statue. I mean, I'm sure we're going to go back there to figure out everything else that was there, but maybe after the arena, which is coming up.
You lift up.
I don't know. Go on.
You lift up Clandestine's body into your arms, and you can see clutched close to her chest and her ruined hand, which is blood-soaked, is a page of parchment, sort of crumpled up into a ball, holding a fistful of gold she managed to clasp in a package. But you know there's writing on the page on the outside, sort of smeared in her paw. Her paw goes slack and just drops the entire satchel, the coins spilling upon the floor, making noise, and the page sprawling forth, uncrampling.
Alright, we'll lay her back down gently and lean her against the side of the mirror and pick up and look at the page.
Okay. The writing upon it is as such. A winged serpent flying upon the desert storm took us out of the skies. I've checked for survivors. The Sangraus is no more. Both ship and crew lost to the dunes. Only I remain. They shall be avenged. Though my wounds are grave, I must find the beast, follow in the storm's wake, and mustn't die in here in vain. I shall hide the solar chronograph, stash it amid the wreckage in case I do not return. Surely the Alpha Union will send someone to assess damages. I pray the artifact does not land in the wrong hands. On the other side of the page, more writing. The Wyvern claimed the vaults of Shumas, nesting amid its ancient cursed treasure. I cannot face it alone. I must regain my strength and return to Akan'thal. The beast cannot survive on some water source with... Sorry, I must have missed something. Oh, the beast must survive on some water source within these chambers. And then the rest of her page contains entries full of delirious thoughts of one slowly succumbing to her wounds. And it appears that Burdett met her end here. In her last struggles of the fight, it appears that Clandestine, instead of the bulk of treasured items, managed to focus on finding the rest of this journal.
I will say, did somebody clean up the gold? We'll split this all when she wakes up.
as you guys are collecting the gold pieces, you hear the two gemstones on the north side emit that familiar charging noise as they charge up with magic,
shit.
and the platform that is stationed there just goes up, leaving an otherwise hollow tube in its place. Or rather, closed doors, because this is a safety concern. Yeah. The door's closed, but as you see it just goes upwards.
Wow.
I would get up from her kneeled position next to Ryan and Silver and would kind of turn towards Winston and Julian and Melina, just be like, if we're back in Akan'thal, we're fucked. Because we don't have the griffins.
We're safe, but
We're fucked because we don't have the griffins.
Why are we fucked?
The fines. The massive fines.
we were
I thought-
renting the griffins. We
thought-
didn't own them.
I thought that the guy said that they would return on their own. Like they have a means of
Hopefully.
finding their own way. But, if they never come back or they're actually injured, then we get fined. No?
Now an angry dragon that's going to hunt them.
Basically
Maybe.
I was
left
curious.
giant chickens outside its door.
I was thinking. I was worried that the dragon itself might just walk through the mirror. That it wasn't as much of a safety exit as we hoped it was. But if the Emperor here is also a dragon, as we suspect, maybe they have territory lines amongst each other that they don't cross.
I don't know, but we should tell Jamon Sword that there is a dragon here. A blue dragon. That wants to take over everything, even whatever he has. Perhaps we'll be able to go and actually take it on properly this time, knowing exactly what we're going to be fighting against. And be properly prepared this time. I think we can take down the dragon. I think we have the ability to. Winston did a lot of damage to both of those massive mummies. If he had his strength, I'm sure we would actually stand a good fight.
The only thing is, a dragon flies, but unless we have it in much closer quarters where it can't fly above us, Winston won't be able to hit it.
Don't you have a spell that can make him
Yeah.
fly?
Yes, I actually realized I couldn't use it in that situation because I'd already used it that day.
No, but you have a spell that can make an angry orc fly.
Yes, I do, I suppose. My musical talents allow me to impart certain gifts upon individuals.
But we know that there's something there that is needed to get further into into Kalmoro. Something to let us go deeper. It was in her journal, so it is something we're going to have to go back for, I believe.
Fortunate, because it sounds from her journal entry that it was perhaps the solar chronograph that she's referring to might have been that sundial that the dragon tricked us into handing over.
Yep, and I think that was in the top of the mirror.
And I should more say, tricked me into handing over. And she kind of just puts her head down in a bit of shame.
Guess we'll be making a trip back there. But Silver's
Well,
going to be staying here.
We might have to make a trip back there, but as you put it, we know what we're getting into the second time around and be much, much better prepared.
I don't want to go back there anytime soon.
Well,
We will head off in the morning. I agree with you, Julian.
Winston, the arena that you want is only 5 days away. The big fight bowl, essentially. We have enough gold for us all to go in there. And then, before we go to Kalmaro, we can go back there and find what we need for it. And there's also the cultists around here to deal with as well. There's a lot on our plate. A lot of heavy things. The dragon's not going to be anything easy. But perhaps Sean Gilmore, who Prolix even said fought the Chroma Conclave. Maybe he'll have something there that can help us with the dragon.
Well, before we really do anything, I think we need to find our way out of the palace and find somewhere for Silver to rest.
I'm
And
going
then-
to
and
take her
then-
back to the Vale.
Well, right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Right, it's just I have an idea where to go.
Is this over here a harp
it
or
is.
a mirror?
It's a harp. You're standing by the mirror here.
Just curious if there's only one mirror. It is curious that the mirror, one mirror led here. I wonder what their connection truly is.
Looks like a bedroom, because this looks like a bathroom.
Well, we need to find our way out. Let's go to the elevator, see if it will bring the elevator back. And if we go down, we find somebody, we'll have to say we have something to say to Jamon's sword. And go from it that way, so we just don't get in trouble. They know who we are, they know we've done good here, so I don't think they're going to try to kill us as soon as they see us. Right, it's going to
Yeah.
carry us. Sure.
Okay.
You agree? Let's try to get out of here.
So
We
with
have all the bull.
your sister unconscious in your arms, I'm just making sure the party is all on the same page here. Anybody else wishes to do anything else while they're still in this room?
We went through the table, right?
Are you looking for anything specific?
Trying to figure out who was in this room or anything like that, or any signed documents from perhaps somebody.
Sir Winston has confirmed that these are documentations to be sent to the Alpharnian Union on behalf of Jamon Sword and his court.
On the behalf, okay.
Naya, your one last kind of like sneaky thing would look at the books on the shelf to see if she can find anything that's like outstanding. That you know how like you're always like you can always tell something about someone's personality or character by seeing what books they keep on the
Yeah.
shelf.
So you step onto what you recognize to be a teleportation circle because you've used one of these before to arrive here in Corel. So you step onto that and you look at the bookshelf. All the spines are blank.
Interesting. She would back up to remove herself from the circle and see if there's some kind of perhaps like ward that's triggered by it.
How would you do that? Right, in your lingering detection magic, because that lasts for 10 minutes and it has not been 10 minutes, you would know that of that teleportation circle, and there's a spell cast on every single one of those books, but you detect no abjuration from that corner, so if you want to share with the party, you can. But if Nia has any, if you want to poke around or anything, you can.
There's a spell casted on every single one of those books. Probably to make sure nobody can see them except for the actual person who put them there.
Then she would join the party back at the door.
Okay. You wait for the crystals to either side of you guys to glow. I'm just checking with Julian here. Does Lorraine, do you want to do anything?
I want to get out of here. Julian's like Julian's gonna be hovering around the exit of the room. It's like
Which one?
Well, I say exit. Gonna be hovering by the elevator. It's
Okay.
like, how do we use this thing? It's like,
Okay,
think it
and
sounds
that's the
good.
exit you choose? Okay. You guys wait for the doors to open, and eventually you hear the elevator come to rest. The doors open, and curious. Arrest them.
Oh my. We need to talk.
Yeah, we do.
I think you might have a blue dragon watching you. We went to an ancient city with what we thought was Leia Bardet. One of the people that was on the skyship that was doing some archaeology and returning, and massive blue storm came out of lightning and did a massive hole into the skyship that fell at northwest of the city about 2 days out. Leia Bardet survived, then hunted this creature, and it went down to a very ancient city. We ended up going in there. There was a poem. And when we activated a fire braziers, mummies came out and attacked us. We felt a very strong celestial presence, which we didn't investigate because we wanted to know where Leia Bardet went. As we went through the lower caverns, we found dried blood in her body. And then we continued on trying to figure out what it was. And we ran into, oh shit, what was his name? Oh, I almost called him Akan'thal. Akan'thal? We found a very few 100-year-old dragon, blue dragon, and he asked us to submit to him, take over everything that is from the desert and beyond. We just were in his lair. Riot will actually nod to Winston's hammer. This was taken from his treasure. He knew that we had the amulet of 3 prayers. And we ran for our lives. And we jumped through a mirror that had a sundial on it, something that came from the wreckage. And as each one of us ran through that mirror, Riot would point over to the mirror that they came through, showing all the blood that was on the ground that's still there from Riot himself and his sister. This is where we ended up.
Last time we met, I said I was to expect great things from you and your group, and a few new faces. This is not what I expected. Not by a long shot. Surpassing what I expected, and quite a tale, woven by a silver tongue. Lest you had proof, which you do.
Surpassing? We barely survived. We just saw the dragon and ran for our lives.
Which is no small feat. And you've even returned for your wounded. Admirable. Nonetheless, trespassing upon my quarters, even if by circumstance, does break certain codes of old, and I am anything but unlawful. You will have to forgive me, for I will have to ponder the justice to be passed upon you.
Right, we'll hold up the writ page of Leia Bardet for him to read.
A citizen of Akan'thal should not suffer such a fate. It is unfortunate that we cannot secure the safety of one of our own. And this threat, it's troubling. Such an entity within the layer of Shumos, even as far away from Akan'thal, is a threat.
It's not far away because it's literally just a step beyond your chambers. It's the matching mirror to one of your bedchambers is the one we came through up in the center of his lair. We wish to return after the arena fight and take on this creature. Not only do
Do we?
I do.
Okay.
I want to retrieve Leia Bardet's body, and we have some answers there to uncover.
Does this one speak on behalf of the entire group?
Guess we can be better prepared next time.
Sean
I mean, do
Gilmore
you
might
really
have-
think we could take a dragon?
We might have to go to Sean Gilmore and see if he has anything to help us, but we almost took on a
Alright, spot one
pinworm
hasn't he?
together. I think we can do this if we're well prepared. Anything
Just realized I
can
was
be.
mute.
Oh, there he is. Okay, I thought you were AFK.
No. Yeah, we can. I do believe we could take on that blue guy. And does he not have something that we need?
He does.
The chronograph?
The solar chronograph is something that Leia Bardet said was needed to go farther into Calmoro, which is our goal. So we have to return there. Shimon Sword, if you have anything of knowledge of a blue dragon, knowledge, or any item that might help us defeat it, we gladly would accept the help. But we are going to have to fight this thing. We're going to have to remove the threat. This is going to affect you, citizens, and it's already affected a skyship and has already taken lives of Legion and Alcide, which we're all part of.
He did mention the desire to spread submission. So, inevitably, he does plan to conquer this domain here. Your city, Emperor.
This is why such things must be quelled while they're still small. And I have full faith in you and your group to handle just such a thing in order to prove that you are worthy of the jewel. I'm sorry, have we met? He turns towards Sword.
I don't believe we have. I am Sir Winston. And he puts his knuckles on his hips and makes his cape billow.
Tell me, Sir Winston, these ones shared me their tales. What is one particular feat I should know you is? First acquaintance with, other than breaking into my chambers like thieves in the night.
Well, to be fair, we didn't quite break in here. We appeared here not knowing where the destination was going to be.
You see, like, both guards sort of shifting their armor as if, like, you're arguing with the Emperor here on his word. Yeah.
No argument, just clarifying the situation. No need to be rash, everyone. No need to be rash. A tale.
As you're talking, he sort of waves one of his hands, and you see the two guards to either side sort of begin to scan the room, and you can tell that they're sort of looking around to see that everything is in order, nothing was taken, so to speak. But he listens to you.
He's talking out loud, mostly to himself. Should I tell the tale when I saved that drowning child from a river? Ooh, what about the time I returned from the Cave of No Return? How about the time I went toe-to-toe and wrestled a dire boar? That's right. Stripped of all armor and weaponry, I locked battle with a boar, grabbing his tusks and pushing like a tug of war, if you will, pushing me back, pushing him back, until finally I was able to defeat him by a quick spin and a snap of the neck.
Such a feat. I only wish I was there to witness it. But I am Emperor, and I shall witness it. For surely you intend to participate in the upcoming tournament, champion as you are. And what a challenge for a champion if not to face your past.
Oh, what now?
Unarmored versus a dire boar sounds riveting. The crowd would love it.
I do fancy putting on a good show. After all, I'm what some would consider a gladiator from where I hail. But yeah, I eagerly await the fight.
Then you shall make a marvelous
where I reign supreme.
Opening act. And hands in a steeple, fingers sort of crossed in front of him, he glides into the center of the room, looking about toward the guard, who in turn sort of nod to him. You can hear the clanking of their mail as they investigate the room around, and then finally he ends his glide in front of the mirror, touching it. Interesting. An artifact recovered from the depths, activated. My city, you see, is warded from such magics. No creature can teleport in or out of here. And yet it had managed to one-way penetrate itself into here, if your words are to be taken true. This chronograph you speak of, the artifact Bardette was sent to retrieve, it is something worthy of the Crystal Chateau's research for the sake of the security of our city. And thus, as recompense for you breaking the code of order and into my chambers in the middle of the night, I bequeath upon you the very task of which you then bequeathed unto yourselves in a way. Retrieve this artifact for me, and you shall be amended of the charges justly to be imposed upon you. Not many break into the Emperor's chamber and escape from the Scarlet Oblate below to tell the tale. Goes against common sense, of course, to speak of what has transpired tonight here to any, should you lest spread panic in my very town. Talk of the calamity returning was enough of a fantasy, but this is a real concern, to be dealt with swiftly.
By the way, how's Shimmer?
Julian,
Breathing. Oh, Shimmer?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he sort of flicks a few fingers and gets Shimmer like crawl from beneath his robes and onto his finger.
Right, we'll hold a pedal up for Shimmer to eat.
You were saying, Joy?
Julian, when he hears the task that the Emperor is sort of giving on to them as the punishment for breaking into his room, he's like, forces a smile. He's like, right, kill the dragon. Of course, we can do that.
Consider that as a punishment and more your duty to the city. After all, I, with pleasure, offered you my hospitality, and you have only reaped the rewards. He points to the treasures in your midst, the jar of tadpoles, the lot.
Right.
Oh,
Is that a dick?
J Dick.
I'm trying to
That's
figure out
the
who
first
this
thing
is.
Riot went for.
Wait. Does Riot know who this is, given the fact
Of
that
course.
Traveler was his... Okay. Now, jump on. This is very special. This isn't just a dick.
It belonged to the dragon.
This is the Traveler. The mighty, mighty Traveler.
A curious name for a toy.
Would you like to use it?
I am good. That will be all. And he just sort of just free to leave his room.
How do we use the elevator?
Before
Yeah.
they go, I would look back to the mirror and cast prestidigitation to rid the floor and the frame of the mirror of the blood, and kind of just would like bow her head a little bit. We apologize for our intrusion and making a little bit of a mess, and kind of like waves her hand at it.
I have servants for that, but I appreciate the initiative. Please leave.
To be clear on one more thing.
Without hesitation,
Yeah.
I believe.
How soon
this
do you
is
want
the
this
third time
dragon
he
killed?
told
Can we
us
do
to
that
leave.
after the tournament?
I am a firm believer in fate and the consequences to reign. I am a firm believer of the safety of my own city. And I'm also a firm believer in the revenge of such creatures such as dragons. The more time you give it to plan away and get familiar with its foes, the least helpful it would be for you. I shall bequeath upon you until the end of the waning of the moon, before I shall send justice after you for what has transpired here tonight.
Is how many days?
You can save yourself this entire ordeal if we go through the Code of Ord and you simply spend the night in the Scarlet Obliate. Thus, justice will be delivered, and that will be a weight off my heart. And I will know I have ruled my city fairly, treating you just as I would treat any other citizen.
Basically, either go defeat a dragon or spend a night in jail.
What if you drink?
And I shall bequeath this task onto more fitting adventurers.
There's no one more fitting than Fate's fortune.
And with that, he waves a hand, and the elevator closes, and you feel yourself
Why'd you have to say
move
that?
downwards.
Because
And-
we're going after the dragon. Deal with it.
The last you
You
see is
have
that
Fine.
You have a paladin orc that wants nothing but glory. What greater glory is there but kill a few hundred-year-old blue dragon?
I'm trying to get some bragging rights.
My God.
dragon rights.
You brag
Dragon
that you went without any armor and weapons defeated a freaking direboar by yourself.
Dragon bragging rights.
We can prepare for next time. Maybe buying potions of lightning resist.
Yeah, we can prepare.
It is the dead of night in the city of Akan'thal as you end up in the bottom of the palace in the courtyard. Where do you wish to head from here?
Kicks us out.
Yeah.
Riot will either, if the party goes with Riot, or Riot's going to be going off on his own.
Okay. Don't give ultimatums to your party. That's not cool, man.
Where are you going?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's what I said earlier though. Is Riot is going to take Clandestine back to the Vale.
The
Why
Raven lady.
Why don't we just head to where we all sleep and recoup, and then we can go to the Vale after.
Welcome
we
to
get
Akan'thal,
our-
by the way, Mr. Winston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had to have
Welcome to Akan'thal.
visited briefly
Fair
before
enough.
heading out into this.
Yeah, you
silliness.
you would have arrived here by ship, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Welcome back, Drunkrell.
I
then.
would go with Riot being just as well, maybe not just as concerned, but very concerned about Silver's well-being. The fact that she's received significant healing from both Riot and Naya, and yet has not regained consciousness.
What if we just like rest for the night, let her rest for the night, and then return her in the morning?
Should have regained consciousness at this point.
How do you know where to return her?
Oh, hello.
Oh shit! Wait, when did Nick get here?
Well, I was told by
That scared me.
Silver.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Time shifted. Oh, yeah, time shifted in here.
So, hi, Nick.
Hey, what's up?
What did you
How much
miss?
did you hear?
Everything.
What do you mean, everything?
Everything up until 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
You literally just joined as we escaped the Blue Dragon.
So,
Did you hear?
from the chamber you guys were, they walked straight into the final boss room. I spawned the final boss, and they were like, "Oh shit, is there an exit?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, you can gather the treasure, you can face off the enemy, you can do whatever you came here to do, or whatever, or you can escape to like the other side of the dungeon, or whatever, or you can take the exit out of here." And I described like it being like a one-way, pretty much like exit, and they all like went through it. Glenstein almost died, and it's like they got some treasure. Nick, since you're back in the treasure room. Sorry, guys. I want to handle this because Nick is back and just give him a chance to do what his character would have done in a moment. Is that fair?
Yep.
Or
So, sorry, Nick. Bear with me here. So from here, you are still somewhat injured, still in your mummy curse, right? From here, they walked over here through this like sand and copper coin chamber, right?
Yeah.
Find a few journal entries from Burdett that you can read in text or review in the video there. From here, they maneuvered to this like treasure chamber, started collecting a few of the treasure before they were faced with this blue dragon, which turned out to be a polymorphed your guide polymorphed into the dragon, the real Burdett being dead. You can review the video for like more detail. I'm rushing through it. Essentially, what I'm going to do, because there were 2 rounds of combat before they all yeeted themselves into the one-way exit, the mirror in the middle of the chamber. And I don't imagine Melina would have stayed to fight alone. Correct? I'm going to give you 2 investigation checks if you want to take an action to go through the treasure, or do whatever your character would have done in this moment.
I gotta get her sheet all loaded.
Sure.
Also, the sundial is at the top of the mirror.
Yeah, you
What do
can.
we need the dial for, though?
So-
the treasure for them, but like, what was the importance for it?
So Sundial seemed to activate this one-way mirror, which acted as a teleportation point. It was embedded into the very top of the mirror, delivered onto here by your guide, which turned out to be the Blue Dragon, something that she sought from the real Burdett.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me get. What the fuck's investigation? Okay, one sec.
So you have a choice of treasure, or you can take an action to take the Sundial, if you so wish. But you'll be sacrificing a chance at treasure, which is ultimately what you guys came here for.
I'll just stick with the original, the 2 investigation checks, and then.
Sure thing. Let me go ahead then and look into this. Initiative, stone goals, I'm ready to attack. Okay, so handling the 14 first. You see a gilded hourglass filled with like sparkling sand, and as you sift it in your hands, you can see that the sand is like made from like powdered silver. And turning the hourglass around, the sand slowly trickles downwards in almost like a spiral-like motion. This item is probably worth like 250 gold pieces on the market if you were to just sell it at face value. And then with 21, I'll have you roll me a d4, please.
Everything's loading. Okay. Slash roll 1d4.
Oh my god. You find a pouch embroidered with a symbol of the Hand of Ord. containing what looks to be a magic bead. I wonder if there's a picture for it. The way the pouch is sort of contained this bead is as if to contain it from being like touched by bare hands. A single, maybe inch wide bead. I'm just looking to see if it has any picture. I don't think it has a picture, but it's like a black blue pearl, if you will.
Okay.
Like for the sake of visual, let's just do it like this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Looks dope.
Actually, 24 plus 4. There are 7 of these beads in this bag. Okay.
I'm trying to write down notes really fast.
This black sphere measures about 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Each bead weighs an ounce. Yeah, and they're sealed in a fancy bag, which is either these are gems to be sold or like some sort of a magical item. Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll wait till we have downtime and figure them out.
Of course. So with that, I'm going to say that you, with the party, made your way to the center of the mirror, pretty much escaping these 4 animated stone golems and the mighty, hundreds of years old electric blue dragon, right?
Yeah.
And Celestine made it out in the last second. Sure thing. So, with that established, without those items to cover, we find ourselves in the courtyard of the Cerulean Palace. Take it away, guys.
Quick question, do you want me to use any spells or anything? Like, say, if we did 2 rounds of combat, should I, like, deduct anything or no?
If you used your action to investigate, you didn't use a spell unless it was a bonus action.
Yeah.
He's talking about now.
Just wanted to balance. I don't know if you needed anything. Okay, I'll just leave everything.
Yeah, Melina has 5 things to identify.
Mommy, all of your toys to identify.
All right, let's just go back to an inn then. I'll be staying with Silver in the room she's in.
Where do you head? I haven't heard from Lorian in a while. I'm not sure if he's muted or not.
We might as well go back to our paid inns, right?
Right, you have your own apartments.
This place.
Okay, Scrolls Alcove it is.
For you, Julian, because you're like, no, I already have paid rooms at the other inn.
I only paid for like a week. That's done and over.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You return to your apartments, open the door, and crash onto your beds, laying down clandestine gingerly on the bed for her to find some rest. Her wounds stench, the blood is stenched, but she'll need a night's sleep to probably fully recover from whatever transpired from on the other side of that mirror. Do you wish to use any of your spells, Melina, to identify any items? I don't mind telling you what they are.
No, I'm just going to identify, just take the 10 minutes to ritual cast each one.
Okay, so the beads are this. I'm just going to give you the full handout. And yeah, you have 7 of these. These are beads of force. You can use an action to throw the bead up to 60 feet away, and it then explodes on impact and is destroyed. Each creature within a 10-foot radius of where the bead landed must succeed at a steady saving throw or take force damage. And then this transparent sphere of force encloses the area for 1 minute, and any creature that failed the save is completely within the area is trapped inside a sphere. Creatures that succeeded on the save are partially within the area are pushed away from it, from the center, and are no longer inside. And only breathable air can pass through a sphere's wall. No attacks or other effects can. And the close creature can use this action to push against the sphere's wall, moving the sphere up to half of your walking speed as if you're grappling a creature. The sphere can be picked up, and its magic causes it to weigh only 1 pound, regardless of the weight of the creature inside.
So it's like a sphere of Odaluk or whatever, that spell?
Better.
Kind of like?
Better because of the last part.
Yeah.
You would imagine just judging, thanks to your intelligence and all that, the reason why it's inside a bag for the Hand of Ord is because the Hand of Ord uses these to make arrests.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't need to know. That's fine.
So that's the Beat of Force, and you have 7 of those. And then what else did you pick up?
Sword, mace,
Very
scarf,
expensive
sickle.
hourglass. It's a jewelry piece, 250 gold pieces if you want to sell it. But
Okay.
yeah,
I'm just writing that down.
sure.
All right, and then what else?
Yeah, the hourglass with the sparkling sand made of like silver. It's 250 gold pieces worth. It's mundane, expensive, aesthetic, but it's not a magical item. It's not a wondrous item.
Yeah. Did we find anything else though in the meantime? Did anyone else?
Guys,
Yeah.
what else did we find there?
Ord.
The bow. Didn't you grab a bow?
I said I grabbed the bow before the whole thing happened, but I don't know if it was a bow because Tom said everybody had to roll for it. So
Oh, that's right.
I was actually on initiative at that point. You can't just break initiative, but you did recover the storm sickle, which I'll make a header for in just a moment. It looks like this again. I'll just post the image again. Crackles with lightning. The sickle sparks with electricity as beads of water form and drip from its blade. You can make a ranged attack with this weapon instead of a melee attack. Whenever you take the attack action by slashing through the air, you send this blade of storming wind. Ranged attacks with the sickle use strength as your modifier for its attack and damage roll, and have a normal range of 20 feet and a long range of 60, just like a spear. Any target hit by the attack from the sickle takes an extra 1d4 damage in addition to the sickle's usual damage.
then there was a copper sword.
Copper blade.
You dropped that.
No,
No,
I
he-
put it in my bag.
One moment.
Those beats are so good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Since we have to go back there,
And we still have
focus
two...
on the dragon. Use it on the golems.
You don't take any magic aura from the blade itself, Melina. Although the intricate design upon it is of like ancient Mercutian time. I wouldn't say so far as a calamity because such metal would rust away, especially ancient metal from 800 years ago would rust away in a place where it was found. But definitely of a warrior who entered this Vault of Shumas at one time or another. It is, for sake of statistics, it is a bronze halberd. A pole armor weapon. Very useful for mountain combat. If that is your style.
There's a mace that Winston has.
Yes, that mace operates as a two-handed mace, which I believe is a warhammer, is the actual name for it. Warhammer, let me look it up. Yes. It is a vicious warhammer. When you roll a natural 20 with this magical weapon, the target takes an extra 2d6 damage. It's bludgeoning by default, but if your AC ever blocks an attack that's of some sort of an element, like fire, ice, lightning, as you observed, the vicious warhammer will absorb that element, and for the next minute, when you roll a natural 20, that 2d6 will become that element's damage.
Cool.
Pretty dope.
Okay. Otherwise, a warhammer is a versatile weapon. You can wield it in one hand if you want to. It does deal more damage. It deals 1 d8 with one hand or 1d10 with two hands. We could just from the compendium, vicious warhammer, and then it has that add property of elemental adaptil. I'll make a hand up for it. Adaptability. I just can't talk because it's been like adaptability. Thank you. Yeah, I will make a hand up for all these items, but that's essentially what that vicious warhammer does.
And the jar.
of leeches.
They're alive, and there's no magical aura coming off of them. But roll me an Arcana check, whoever wants to identify them. Anybody who is proficient with Arcana, go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
I'll do it.
These are Ceramorphosis leeches, meaning tadpoles, very early stages of mind flares.
What?
Mind flares.
Mind flare.
Julian, take these.
Illithids.
What? How long does it take them to grow up?
They're distant cousins.
They require to be inserted into somebody's skull in order to take over the host's body, brain, and body, and entire being in order to morph that person via ceramorphosis into an illithid.
Maybe we should just destroy this.
We should burn them.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll
We
hold on
got-
to them.
Maybe they'll help clandestine here.
How would that help?
Oof. Those look gross.
Yep.
Nasty little buggers.
I'll keep
This
it.
look between Riot and Silver, and kind of not wanting to offend him or anything, but just be like, you should double check that this is Silver, and do detect magic. We've been tricked once by polymorph. We shouldn't
Right.
take any chances.
Right, we'll do it.
Oh, sorry. What are we being tricked for? Oh, clandestine is yes. Yeah, that's your sister.
Just wanted to make sure.
Would be funny.
Dragon attack in the middle of the city.
Hmm.
Jamon Sabor would have a good laugh over it, I'm sure.
So
Yes,
Why did-
indeed.
Well, I was gonna say, so why did the teleport that we went through go to the Cerulean Palace? Doesn't that seem weird?
Yes.
It does.
We don't know
didn't
why.
get an answer for that.
Because I was gonna say, if the Conclave back in the day attacked and everything, maybe Jamon was like a part of that, but just like broke off and decided to do his own thing. Now he's ruler, but he stands to lose everything, because if he was found out while keeping this visage, I mean, that would like destroy everything, his wealth and everything too.
The
So
chroma-
maybe, yeah, maybe there's like, maybe the two know each other or something.
The Chroma Conclave, all of them were killed. Prolix told me.
I was wondering why the dragon didn't just follow us through the mirror. It can polymorph into humanoid and it'd be small enough to fit through. If our hypothesis about Shaman actually being a dragon is correct, perhaps they have like territory claims that the other won't cross. Though they were in the city disguised as Barquette for who knows how long.
Yeah, I think there's
But-
definitely suspicion between the two. Because if he had the dial immediately going to his chambers, it's like he could just attack at any time and just basically take over the city that way and just be like, ah, rawr, I'm a dragon, blah, blah, blah. But also, I mean, I don't know.
So that
Maybe it's less so territory. Maybe it's less so respect of territory. Maybe just Jaman is a stronger dragon. He won't risk coming here.
It is curious though that Akan'thal would specifically target the sundial, the probably, and being knowing that it goes upon his mirror. He must have known that it does something similar to this, but then why not use it like we were saying? So, but at the same time, according to Leia's notes, these can be used in the depths. So obviously it can be used in more than either more than one location or to go to more than one location. And perhaps it was just the way it was dialed in that we ended up in the Emperor's chambers.
Possible that this sundial essentially creates a waygate between mirrors, and there's a possibility that this mirror connects to multiple other ones, depending on where the sun is hitting it, because the sun did come through the roof and hit the mirror. And
It was
during
dead.
the
It was
note-
dead of night when you guys entered the chamber.
Oh, okay, fun.
Mhm.
Okay.
The moon then.
I'll correct
Ooh,
you
that
on
theory.
weather and time of day because those are obvious. Yeah.
But there's a possibility that there's a mirror down in Kalmoro. Perhaps these are just ancient relics from the past that Jamon's sword has, and this is just connecting to an ancient city we're just in. Connecting to another ancient city below this one.
Well, it's hard to say for certain until we actually may even press the Emperor for questions. I just feel like it's odd that such a mirror would go directly to his
You want
place.
to interrogate him?
You can't interrogate an Emperor, good luck, but I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
prodding.
We attempted to prod. And
Yeah.
He was
He
not just
seemed
gonna give
just
up
as
information.
confused, but maybe it was lying.
Well,
I
either
mean, if
way,
we have
we're-
suspicion to believe that he's a dragon, and with the Chroma Conclave and the bats and everything else, it's probably not a good look if he was to ever be found. Not saying that we blackmail, but like, just seems like there's maybe a connection, possibly. I don't know.
So when we go back to the Sigil District and report to the Alliance, do we leave out the part that we ended up in the Cerulean Palace?
yes. We were told not to talk
Probably.
about it. But either way, we have to go back to that blue dragon now. At least after.
Yeah,
the
aren't our
Dragon's
griffins out there too and shit? I don't want to
Yep.
pay for that.
Do we want to wait a couple days, see if our griffins come back? Because I kind of don't want to rent another set of griffins. That was expensive. I think we
Yeah.
paid so much. We spent so much money for that on those
Right, but
rented
500
griffins.
down.
Hopefully they come back.
I put 500 down for that.
Yeah, Zeno put the rest. Quite a bit.
Is it possible to just
It
take
was
the
a
mirror back?
4-day trip to get there.
Yeah.
So if they're gonna come back, it's gonna take at least 4 days, maybe, or maybe they'll fly faster without us.
They will fly faster without us. We were definitely burdening them.
We're so
Can we ask
fat.
the Emperor to go back through his chambers? Like, is there a way to open the gate back up?
No.
When I walked through the mirror, I tried to go back. It wouldn't let me through.
Seems like a one-way trip.
On the bright side, when we attempt to kill this dragon, if we fail again, I mean, we know there's an exit right there. Although, what would be the second punishment for going into his chambers again?
Well, there's also the celestial presences that we never investigated while we were there.
Right,
That
right.
Perhaps they could help us. Who knows?
Do you think we could also get that shopkeeper's help? What was his name? The flamboyant guy?
Gilmore.
Right. I mean, it's been said that he killed a dragon before, and if we could tell him about like the giant hoard of treasure that was there, maybe he'll help us in exchange for some of that treasure.
Well, also might just be in his personality to do the right thing, and then I don't know, maybe there's payback or there's revenge for everything that happened back then, or you know, maybe he wants to focus on this, but we'll take his mantle. Maybe his old gear is still around, or whatever he had that gave him an upper edge, or just purely insight into the blue dragon, or maybe the two have history.
We should take rest for this night and then go to the Sigil District and report everything that's happened to the Allegiance.
Leave out the part about going into the Emperor's bedroom.
How do we leave that part out? How do we explain our escape?
Just say that we appeared, that we passed through a portal and it brought
Alina
us
can
back.
cast teleport now.
We went through
This
the
is-
portal and just ended up in Akan'thal somewhere. We didn't know where.
Or just say in on Corral. Don't
Yes,
be
so-
specific. Don't be specific. No need to lie when you don't need to. Just don't be specific.
Okay. In the morning,
So-
we'll go report.
So who took the tadpoles?
I have them.
You got them?
Yep.
Oh boy, I'm gonna keep an eye on you.
Locking that door.
They're gonna start giving you whispers at night.
Who has all the beads? Because Winston
Enough.
has the explosion beads too, right? The fire beads.
No, Riot
Riot
has
has the fire beads.
I have
Right,
two
has-
left.
He gave
a
them to me.
handful of things.
And then Winston has the force beads.
No,
So Julian.
No, Melina.
Melina. Okay.
I appreciate you suggesting that I have all this stuff, but I don't.
Like beads, okay? We don't know why he likes beads. He just likes beads.
Was that dick amulet magic at all?
Oh, of
Nope.
course not.
No.
Jade,
Just
dildo.
Just if in case you, I mean, it matches your color. I don't know if you want to use it for something, you know.
Wear it with pride.
You can wear it with pride.
I'm not the one that snagged it.
Attach it to a headband and just walk around with it.
There you go.
I don't want to disrespect the traveler. I know what the traveler would wear. He would probably want this.
Okay. And then who's got
big
the
is the sign
sickle?
door?
Who's got the sickle? I just want to iron this out so that
Right. Has
if and when we get into a scuffle, we're not all like scrambling to figure out who's got what in their inventory.
Right still has the sickle.
You got the sickle as well. All right. Anybody mind if I keep the halberd?
That's fine.
And I'm not sure about the vicious warhammer or not. It's kind of on the
I
table.
think you're the only one who can really use it
Yeah,
effectively.
it's yours.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll use the halberd. You know, hop on my trusty steed Winston, skewer some folks.
Gear.
Gear.
So we have
do
what,
need
3 or
rest.
4 days to the
Lots of rest.
It is approaching the dawn of 14th of Quen Pilar. The tournament is on the 22nd. That's not right, is it? Because
No, that's
you
not
guys
right.
traveled.
We only
Yeah.
had 1 day of like we only had like 1 extra day if we were to take the 4 days to get back.
The thing I have in our P-chat dates, it was the 14th of Quen Pilar when you guys arrived. Yeah, no, that's correct. It's the
Yeah, I
14th.
guess we saved travel on our way back quite a bit. Time, that is.
I think we should prepare by getting like potions of lightning resist, among maybe anything else we can think of. But since we have almost a week here till before that tournament starts, is there anything else we want to try to do before
Shopping!
going to fight that dragon?
Let's go shopping.
No.
No more shopping.
No, I don't want to roleplay it, but I need to get better armor. This half plate does not quite do me well. My AC is only 16, and well, it's a lot of hits that I took. So I need to bump up my AC quite a bit, as much as possible, to be clear.
Fair enough. Sure, you and Wright can do some shopping tomorrow. Speaking of which, Wright, how much treasure did you manage to grab?
I'm even just looking at that. So, 20 platinum, 400 gold, and 114 worth of gold of gemstones, which if we take to a jeweler, we might get more for. So essentially, we got 600 gold, basically. And we still need to
600
give some of that to Clandestine as well.
Basically got 100 each.
Basically, yeah, including Clandestine, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 100 gold.
That's not
each,
enough to get. I don't know if that's enough to get you a better armor, even with the discount.
That's a lot, I think. Already.
Yeah, it's gonna be expensive.
We need that whole dragon horde.
Yep. We do.
I think you could upgrade your half chainmail to full chainmail or plate mail, sorry, for half price. I think it was.
Well, Lena, we still have that scrying orb we can sell. Maybe even see if Sean Gilmore can barter for us to get more for it. That's 1,000 gold just sitting there for us.
Which scrying orb?
The one from Bazzoxan.
Oh, that orb. Yeah. Yeah, that thing's
Sean-
just sitting around.
Sean Gilmore might find something for it, and I think you have some focus that might be worth a lot of money too, back from when you first used the amulet to get it.
I have the... What's it called? I have the vial to call the aberrations. That was like 400 gold. Which one are you talking about?
Essentially, remember when we went to an area and everything was low gravity, and then you
Yeah, that
stopped
was
it?
like 100 GP little gem or something.
Wow,
It was a
callback. That
crescent
was like
orb.
Road from Jigao. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. But
That
if
I think I
you-
already sold.
No, you never did.
I'm pretty sure I did because I had to use it for spells and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
Because I still have ink that
pretty sure you did.
still hasn't been used. Yeah, I
Yeah.
I don't
I
remember
took
that
that out of my
happening.
inventory. It was 100 gold.
So, you just to be clear, I can buy the plate mail for half. I'm trying not to shop here. We can do all of that outside. Just to
Yeah,
be
come
clear,
tomorrow,
so
like-
I can carry on to something else.
In real life, come to like I'm gonna wrap up session soon. Come tomorrow. I'm gonna first of all I'm gonna make handouts for all the treasures you guys managed to recover from the horde and from the tombs of 8 before you ran into the mirror and all that. And I'm gonna also list their market value. It's negotiable with rolls, but most merchants will sell for the price I'm listing. I mean, like, it is what it is. And then we can over role play, determine how much gold you'll be spending, and probably half the value, 750 gold pieces, to upgrade your armor from what it is now to full plate.
Sounds good. So once I have full plate, whether that's soon or in the future, that brings me up to 18.
Yep.
Okay. So I can't use shields. So I don't suppose, Riot, once you get your displacement cloak, that I could wear the amulet for a time being.
Why can't you use a shield?
Well, I would prefer not to use a shield because
Right.
then I can't use my other feat, the Great Weapon Master. I must be wielding a heavy weapon.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Sure.
We could also
With,
maybe look into seeing if Gilmore, that was his name, right?
Yeah.
Sean Gamer.
Has come into any new stock of rings of protection.
Yeah, we're getting dangerously deep into shopping here, so.
Sure.
If
I don't mind handling
we
it.
have
If
any
that's what you guys
magic-
want to do for the rest of the session, I don't mind doing it.
No,
Okay.
No.
Long rest, and then
let's plan. You know,
go to bed, we're just planning
our
for
next
tomorrow.
our next steps. Yes.
go to bed. Go to the
So we know what we're getting
alliance.
into. I
I can't-
use rest for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if I heard it correctly. Are we going back tomorrow, or are we going after the event, the
After the
fighting
event.
pit? After the fighting pit. Okay.
Yeah, make the most.
No one's enough time to get
Most
out
of it.
there. And I have a feeling our new compatriot would very much like to participate in the arena event.
Although,
Well, don't you all? I mean, what more fun is there than testing
We
your
have-
own merit?
I guess the time would be cut very short. I was thinking, if those griffins get back within 3 days, takes 4 more days to get there, and we know there's a portal that teleports us right back, we'd be in the palace again, which is could be an issue.
Once we take out the dial, it probably doesn't work.
You hear first the shambling of a figure at the doorway to the bedroom, and you see half propped up against the frame of a door, clandestine clutching the side, looking up at the lot of you with one glinting eye in the dark and the other one just absolutely wrecked, so beneath her shawl hidden away, and she's just like, what if they don't come back? What if they're all dead?
It is a dragon. Dragons gotta eat.
If they're not here within 3-4 days, I guess they're all dead. And then I don't know if we even can do any shopping because we're gonna be in debt.
Have to hopefully
How
win.
expensive are 3 griffins?
That would make the loot we've stolen worthless if we give it all away.
We'll have to sneak out of the city that way.
We got the city. You want to run away from our debts?
Leave without going to the Griffin Master, find a different way. Might be what we have to do.
I wonder if there's a Legions of Allsight member. There's got to be a professor or someone who can maybe just cast a teleportation, bring us to where we need.
I have a question.
There's no way.
Clandestine is just heaving through her breath. She has one question. The Legions of Allsight sent you to face off a fucking dragon. You've spoken to your guild masters, and they've sent you 5 to fight a dragon.
It wasn't exactly. They didn't exactly send us. The dragon was disguised as a member. They said they wanted to go on an expedition to obtain gold.
It is at that moment, Julian, as you're saying that, maybe I'm going to help you here. You realize, as you're saying it, that not at any moment did you guys actually check in with the Allegiance of Allsight. At this entire time, you were talking to, remember, a body double, essentially. Lila Burdett was dead for weeks.
Yeah.
The person who hired you was a dragon entrapping you into its lair. Not once did you check in with the Allegiance of Allsight.
Yeah.
Food for thought.
All along, it was just a dragon disguising.
And I'm not just saying that to like wag my finger at you guys. I'm saying that because you didn't actually use any of the resources of your own guild. But you may.
Well, let's use the resource of teleportation.
There you go.
Think they can teleport up north? I guess they don't have to teleport us directly into the tome. They could just teleport us like to the desert up north, as far as possible.
As far as possible that we can get up there, we can take it from there. I don't assume that they're going to be in the tome, that they would know.
Even if teleportation isn't accurate, I mean, it's just sand all around.
I didn't see any teleportation circles on the route there. I don't know if you saw any in the Vale to mention it. But I'm done with griffins. I'm done with walking. We're taking a bloody ship.
A ship?
Oh.
Silver,
That
you
might
want
not
to
be
go
a-
that was there got shot down.
By that dragon.
We have to make
Wait,
sure
wait,
we
I wanna
shoot the
hear-
dragon
hold up,
down
let her
first.
cook.
We have
Let her
gold,
cook.
we have resources. How about we get a ship, we get cannons, and we fuck up this dragon?
I like that.
It's an interesting idea.
Aerial battle.
I trusted myself with you lot. I followed your lead, thinking you had a plan of motion. I do not blame you for not being prepared ahead, but it sounds to me like you're committed to repeating the same mistake twice by walking into this dragon's lair on foot again. That did not end well last time. Let us use our entire resources.
Who's going to lend a ship, though? That's super expensive.
We buy it.
And to possibly lose it, knowing that others have gone down out there.
Could, in our ventures of trying to get into other circles, perhaps, we could meet and maybe, course is the wrong word, but I'm gonna use it. What was her name? The really powerful lady that owns the syndicate. Not syndicate, her name.
What? Not the Sinket and who?
You
We're
talking about
talking
the Sky Captain from Bizoxan?
No. The basically who we've determined she's one of the big leaders of Akan'thal, but we
Some of the
basically
cult
have
leader?
cult leader.
Lady Najesh?
No.
We have to interrogate her and find out information about her.
I'm confused.
Maybe if we finish off that, we can opt for John Samord to take that ship away from him when she's found, and then let us use it. That's a possibility.
Try and sneak in and coerce her into being we're defending the people, because she has a huge following, right? It's a religious thing.
It's for the freaking betrayer god.
And it's a ship.
We do know the Sky Captain from Bizoxan, though. She might be inclined. If we say there's a treasure trove of a dragon's hoard, I mean, she might be inclined to take it, but she will take the risks.
So long as we don't tell her that another ship has recently been shot down.
I think there's an interesting idea here in seizing the ship of this cult leader, and then using that.
If we turn in the cult leader and deal with the cult as a here, and ask Jamon Saord to take the ship and let us use it to go kill the dragon, that is quite a possibility, because he did say he likes when stories are completed. If we do complete this, we will be in favor, and yes, we still need to do something for him to make up for breaking into his bedchambers. That is a way to get a ship with actually going through it the right way.
I'm thinking... I forgot a little bit of the tail end of the conversation here. Didn't you say that Jamon Saord is in on all this? He is a culprit in all this, and perhaps is in on this dragon business.
We don't know.
Why would we
can't
risk
say that for sure.
cooperating with such a person? I personally do not trust the hands of Ord. I think they can all stuff it. I never trusted Lot. And I do not want to end up in those dungeons.
We don't even know if he's cooperating or if the other dragon just has a just secretly put a portal into his room. Can't be said for sure.
We might be just doing his job for him and taking our competition.
Exactly. It seems really iffy. Perhaps if we were to, get the, dragon on its last knees, or excuse me, on its last, stand, and try to figure it out a little bit more. Maybe tell us a little bit. But there's a large history there, especially with dragons, the Chroma Conclave. Yeah, they may have been destroyed, but that's what we were told. That's what we've always entrusted. But maybe there's more to it. Maybe there's smaller factions, or maybe they weren't all dead.
It is not out of the question that Brimscythe, the blue dragon of the Chroma Conclave, because there were 5 of them, 1 of each color, Brimscythe was slain. There's no arguing against that. You can find the remnants of Brimscythe if you look up the records in the Library of Cobble Sold. It's common knowledge. Like Rome fell, Brimscythe was slain. But it's not out of the question that Brimscythe might have had a clutch. Or children therein.
I was like, can't you have the main dragons from the Chroma Conclave, and then they have followers of the same type being with them? Yeah.
And that's actually something I've described, Nick. You were not here, so I'll repeat it. When they encountered the blue dragon, they saw that upon its scales were these runes of protection and the various enchantments upon the dragon, but also handprints and scaly lizard prints upon its scales, left there by worshippers.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's not out of question this dragon is leading a cult of some sort of or following. Yeah.
I think possibly Jamon might be hiding something, because he stands to lose everything, having a whole city under his reign. Sure, he might be better, but he might be more so good inclined, but there's definitely a history possibly. Or excuse me, I should rephrase that. There might be a history between the two or something. Just seems a little coincidental.
It does seem like he wants us to eliminate his competition out there in the desert, so I wouldn't want to go straight into doing so. I think it does make sense for us to... what is her name? I couldn't remember it now either. The cult leader. It does make sense to tackle that first. maybe go with the plan. I think, right? You had mentioned, or Silver mentioned it, potentially asking to use her ship once we unearth her betrayer god cult. Ask for permission to use her ship. Going that journey gives us more time to maybe uncover what the truth is between these dragons.
Also, Jamon said that we had until the next full moon, or basically be thrown in jail. Do we know how long that is?
Right would know.
Sorry, I don't do this often, guys, but I'm just mulling over this, and it really fucking doesn't make any sense for you guys to get arrested. So I'm gonna change the consequence a little bit. I'm sorry to you guys. Forget arrest. You guys did not really break any rules per se. You're just making this story more interesting for Jamon's Sword, and he enjoys stories. I don't want to punish you guys for adventure, so forget imprisonment. So much so that this is something that needs to be dealt with. If you will focus on other parts of the adventure, and you will focus on yourselves, he will send other adventurers, more capable than you, apparently, to deal with this. And you will lose out on the rewards their end, which I think is punishment enough as is. You guys losing out on that branch of adventure. I don't feel like threat of imprisonment because you guys ended up in the only location that the dungeon ends in, even if the module says that that's what happens. I don't think it adds any fun to the game. Do you agree?
I think that's fine.
I really
I
want to
didn't
go back
understand
and fight
that.
the dragon, to be honest.
I don't think you guys broke any laws. I'm just following the module hill, and I'm like, this is got a little bit weird. I get it. Like they stay, they don't leap out the window, they don't fly out of the castle, they get detected. Therefore, the guards are like, arrest them. That's dumb. You guys are heroes. You guys are renowned allegiance of all side explorers. Why would you get arrested? So I'm gonna take that back. But you guys will probably have within reason to resolve this, prioritize this, lest other adventures will do it for you. And we all know who I'm talking about, who these other adventures are, who shall reap your rewards. Right.
If we really want
You
the
actually
Marines
think they
to
would
get what
succeed?
we get, we're
And
better adventurers than
Every
them.
single opportunity you guys have not taken, they have so far. You guys turned away from Vermilion Dream, they've joined them. You guys turn away from certain quests, they complete them on your behalf. Remember when I said, like, Irvin is like, oh, talking about this Layla, whatever, who's inviting them on this adventure to go to the desert? If you guys would have not went, I would have sent them. They seem to be picking up your slack. Because they're as keen as you are to make a legend out of themselves, and they're making an out of themselves just as much as you guys are. Hence the rivalry. I feel that's much more fun than jail time or else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better.
Yes.
I'm genuinely wondering, like, what would be their chance of succeeding?
At our level, definitely.
I wouldn't worry about such things, just as I wouldn't worry about what would happen if the Griffins do arrive here. You're trying to, like, tell into a future that you're not certain here, where you can commit to an action and be certain about something. If you do return, you will rescue those Griffins. Right? Rather than hoping on chance.
We have, sorry, Tom, 5 days until... It's 5 days?
It is the 14th. It is the morning of. You guys are exhausted at this point. Thankfully, you guys took the long rest here, recovering your hit dice and hit points and stuff. It is the dawn of the 14th, and the tournament is on the 22nd, meaning you have 8 days.
So we have 8 days to figure out the cult, and then we'll do the arena, and then we can go.
Do you really think the Emperor will wait 10 days for us? 8 days,
He
9
said-
days?
He said we can do it after the arena.
He did?
Yeah.
We have until the next full moon, which is when?
Full moon cycle is 28 days.
End of month.
So 8 days after the arena ends. The limit.
Okay, yeah, we got time.
Yeah, more or less. So essentially, as long as we finish with the cult first before the arena occurs, we're able to use the skyship. We'll be back there dealing with the dragon before the time's up.
Good with that.
Yeah, that should work. The timeline is I'm getting weird on.
Me too, because really, it really comes down to whenever the rivals hear about this, they'll snatch it out of your hands.
Well, the thing was,
Mm-hmm.
when
Might
we
go
were going to
now.
go,
Yeah.
when we were on this trip, it was going to take 4 days to get there,
Mm-hmm.
4 days back, and it was 8. And then we gave ourselves 1 day of rest to get everything ready. And then the next day, the morning, was going to be the tournament.
2 days on Skyship, I think it was.
He's
No, we
talking
weren't
about
even talking about the
previous
Skyship
plan.
at that point.
The plan that we had
Yeah.
established for when we were going there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had allotted 9 days. So 4 days there, 1 day to do what we were doing, 4 days back, and then we were supposed to have 1 day before the tournament left. I just don't get how it's 8 days to the tournament. It should be only like 5 or 4.
Yeah, it should only be like 5, maybe 6. But, alright. I'm just
Just
trying
let it be what it is, I guess.
Sure.
We'll just
But I
go
think
forward saying it's this time frame now.
But I think decent plan. I think it's kind of like figure some things out with the allegiance, and then it looks like redirect our attentions towards the cult dealings, arena, and then dragon.
I think you're missing the fact that if we don't go towards the dragon before the arena, the Maroon 6 are likely to head off very soon.
Job.
Do we think the Maroon 6 would bypass the chance to participate in the arena?
To be honest, what do you think the
Fight a
reward
dragon.
was? 1,000 gold over a dragon horde.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Like honestly, if I was the Maroon 6 and I heard about this, I would go for the dragon horde over the arena.
Yeah, the
Personally.
arena's not going to do much for them.
I think we're misprioritizing things here. I think that we need to probably consider going to the dragon horde before the arena. We have 8 days until the arena.
Yeah.
We should probably plan to hit up that dragon now.
To be honest, we probably could almost afford or at least get something to get another one of those little tablets that we need to, but I'm pretty sure we can get there pretty quickly. And
You still have a tablet, by the way.
I know,
Yeah.
but like I know we wanted to save that for Calamaro, but like I mean, there's ways. Like with amount that's in that dragon horde, if I empty out my bag and everything like that, we can get so much freaking gold. We don't even have to worry about buying another tablet.
That and the skyship. We get there with a skyship. How much is it to rent a skyship out there?
It was like I think it was like 220 or something like that in total per person.
I think it was like on the mileage though, wasn't it?
That's why I said 220 per person.
But then like how many? It was like 220. Is that just to get on the ship and then have a ticket and then it's mileage?
No, it's 2
Or
gold
just-
per mile.
Get some
are you
cannons?
saying the ship is actually cheaper than the Griffins?
No, at the time the Griffins were the cheapest option.
Yeah, the
Oh, where
the
did
ship
they
was
go?
really expensive. I think it was like $2,000. Wasn't it 2,000 gold?
The thing is though, we'd have to requisition cannons from somewhere because I don't think a noble diplomat is gonna have cannons on their ship. I mean, maybe.
You don't know that, says Glenn this time. Glenn this time is the DM's voice. He's the voice of reason here. We operate on no knowledge whatsoever. We could find out, though.
Yeah, just gotta ask.
Although I do think if we
Other
are going to be
house.
going immediately back to the Dragon Horde, we should definitely consult with the Allegiance to see what knowledge they have.
Or what resources they can add to this assault.
Knowledge about what? The ship? We go to the Justice Matter, we retrieve that information directly from the source, and we know for certain, instead of relying on third person, second person, third hand information. And I get to keep my second eye.
You mean your last eye?
Don't mock her.
You're really gonna mock me with this?
Oh, come on, I'm just being jovial. You gotta lighten up there, clandestine.
I will not. You left me
No,
behind.
I'll beat
You
you down till
left
you get
me
fearful.
behind. You ran and left me to die. I will remember this.
Nobody left you. We believed in your abilities.
Convince yourself of whatever you want.
And here you are.
Raya's just glaring at Winston right now.
For what reason?
Oh, she's going at you. You left her too. You left her to mirror.
No, I know.
Yeah, you're the one that went after Shiny while your sister was getting beat to death.
It wasn't at the time, but Raya's glaring at you for your comment
And what comment would that be?
about her
The
last
eye comment.
It's like when, oh god, it's when Hunter's character had a squire and the squire lost an arm. Trent was playing squire and he was like, why can't you just like do better? Why can't you just like not lose an arm? Like, you know, it just stands me back. Trent just doing his best to be the best squire in the world, loses the arm to a trap. Why can't you just like not lose an arm?
Why can't you just be better? What kind of squire are you?
Your appendages already.
This was Curse's fraud. He ended up like regrowing their arm with a fucking tree hand. Fucking gnarly, fucking Gulthias tree hand. What a time. Alrighty then. So, I say, let's formulate a plan. Unless you want to keep going. I'm just looking at the clock here. It's 9:15. I know Nick has to get
we
up.
could formulate a plan like during the week or so.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this.
There.
I am barely in this party. I'm only playing NPCs, but I really like Megan's idea of like stealing Lady Najash's ship if it does exist, because then it's, if you think about it, is it really stealing a ship if it belonged to a criminal? If she is a criminal, I like that. I don't know.
Would that not
It was
still
an interesting
be
idea, yeah.
against the law in this city since it's so strict on stealing?
Don't get caught.
Nah.
Don't get caught.
Basically,
The
the idea.
word
My
right
my
there.
idea was not to steal it. My idea was actually to like,
Borrow.
because we had, well, not to borrow.
Oh, even better, yeah.
Yes, borrow. But basically to infiltrate the cult and convince her to lend it to us.
Exactly. That's what I love. That the whole like actually Nia doing her part, being infiltrator, and like getting an into a cult. So you're both getting information out of that. If there's a cult elements, which at this point you're pretty sure there are, so no point of me being coy, and you get a ship out of it, sort of thing. So you don't break the law if you just operate under Najesha's commands.
I mean, we could also just take out the cult and everything, and then once her assets are all like free, and then if she's found or however it falls, we could be like, okay,
You
cool,
could.
let's just
no
take the
good-
ship
but
before
then
it
at
gets
that-
claimed, and then
But
leave.
at that point, though, it would, all of her items would likely fall to the crown, and then it's up to the emperor to be able to gift us this.
And he also
he's
wants
up
us
for
to
that.
deal with it, though.
Yeah, he wants us to deal with it. So be like, hey, look, we also did a great thing. We defeated the cult members, so you're fucking welcome. And we provided our own means and got a skyship. So either way, that's a win-win.
That's
don't know.
why
think
I
we have
thought cult
But how many
skyship
steps
then
does it
go,
take to
It's a
but
great idea. I love it.
Sounds dope. Who's it, Lixian?
you know what? Some man he got himself like trapped in
He's
the
just like
past.
there in the void. Don't forget about me.
He's been in the void for like hundreds of years
Yeah.
already. He can wait a couple more weeks.
like millennia,
He can wait
Yeah.
a couple more.
couple millennia.
Yeah.
Depending on how things go, because to what we've heard so far, this lady's following is massive. So to try and take it on, like, unless we can get super close to her, which I think one way or the other we'll at least have to attempt
There's
to.
two other people to take care of. It's her and the other guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
what
that's-
leads do you have
and that's-
though? Right?
But that's what I mean. Like,
We have the woman. That's her first lead.
And how long do you think it's going to take to infiltrate that? How many days do you suppose it'll take to infiltrate that cult, gain their favor, and then they trust us enough to give us a skyship? Assuming the
We'd have to
Maroon
have a
6
really
is
good
gonna,
convincing
is gonna,
argument. to get
yeah,
that,
assuming the Maroon 6 is gonna head out to the Dragon Horde within the next day or two.
no, I feel like we could orchestrate something. If we can get enough information, I think that we could probably orchestrate like a scene of some kind that could
Can any
gain us a lot of points all in one go.
hang on? Can any of us fly a skyship?
Yeah, we need a crew. It has to be crew.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying too.
Let me check.
As
Nope.
for
better just
Maybe-
to
But that's what I mean. If we can convince someone, whether it's the lady from Bazoxan, or the Emperor, or the cult lady, if we can convince someone instead of commandeering one, then it comes with a crew.
But what if that crew is like all cultists?
so we infiltrate, and Clandestine will just shimmer her cloak of many fashions into like something along the lines of like dark, verdant green, and with like slithering like scale patterns, long robes, and just very cultish stake like sort of attire, and
Gets out
puts-
her disguise too, in like matching clandestine, because she already made one of these cult outfits.
we do not have to fight half the city if we can have them work for us. Just an idea. Isn't that what expositors do? Expositor.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, Melina.
I'm sure you're sticking around with us for the foreseeable future, and I look forward to seeing you in action, Melina.
Oh, well, funny story.
Melina, who have you been working with for the last I don't know how long?
Anyways,
Infiltrating that far, infiltrating for relics and trying to find that is different than going into a cult head on.
why?
You fucking go do it then.
I will. I want to kick the
would,
dragon
too.
ass.
Well, I haven't seen you. You just been skulking in the shadows.
Actually, she fought it.
I'm going to go acquire a new eye, and you go and ponder whatever cheap is on their shoulder and flick it off. Condessa is going to leave and acquire plastic surgery.
Plastic surgery.
Magical eye. I'm sure there's one around.
Probably just a glass eye.
I feel like
That's just
we're
kidding.
not.
I swear, if she has a glass eye and can't look straight, it's gonna be really hard for me not to stare.
Point, we're not really getting very far. I think we're all kind of tired. I think we might need to like take a break and then come back to it and chat this week.
We had first nap, yes, but what about second nap?
Third nap.
I will sort out the inventory tomorrow. That's what I'm gonna do. I want to like all that shopping and pricing and stuff. I don't like doing that in session. I will definitely. It was all dependent on how you guys roll and how much you guys stall. What was essentially I don't want to say it's an unbeatable boss, but it's definitely a hard one, especially with a missing player. So it was all dependent on how much you guys are gonna loot from the horde. Probably going for the entire lot would require either really good rolls or a couple players dying for it. But I'm glad that was resolved. So I'll definitely list the prices and all that by tomorrow, and we'll figure out shopping. You guys can do that over P if the tank wants to acquire full armor. That's not a problem at all. If you guys want to sell any extra magic items that you guys have on you, because it's always nice to have a neat inventory. That's good. You don't have to keep all the beads, Melina. If you want to sell some of them, you can for profit and have like 3 or 4 on you, because
I'll hold them. Yeah, I think it'd be good because I can just dish them out to everybody else.
sounds
When
good.
you run out of spell slots,
Yeah.
throw 4 speeds. They also, it didn't say on the sheet, but does the sphere they create last for any
A minute.
duration of
It
time?
does
It
for a
does,
minute.
A
it
minute?
does say on the item description for a minute, yes, or
Okay.
until it's dispelled.
They kind of make a bit of a barrier, because nothing can go through them.
Yeah, that's why I was saying they're so good, because you can basically trap an enemy inside one of these things, just take them out of fight. It's almost like banishment, kind of, but you know they'll be there after a minute.
And not exactly like banishment, but I know where you're going with this.
I mean, in the sense of like you just remove someone from a fight until like a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
kinda
no,
like
you're
it.
right.
There's
I'm
no
sure I won't
concentration.
regret rewarding you guys with a rare magic item and 7 of them. I'm sure I won't. As soon as I rolled a D8, I was like, why am I doing this? I'm already giving them 1 overpowered item. I was like, 7 of them. All right. That's fine.
Not gonna regret that decision.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will see you guys in RP this week. Have a good night, and Nick, careful driving tomorrow.
Yeah, I got a long drive tomorrow. That'll be fucking fun.
Figure it out.
I got a bunch of audiobooks though now.
Night, everybody.
Night.
Goodbye.
Coordination is key. Use cover or attack from
Julian,
darkness.
Before
What am
I
I
go,
even talking
I
about?
looked it up. You were asking why Naya didn't have magical resistance to lightning, which is thunder. Her thing is thunder. It's because of her lineage. Only if you picked like a base dragonborn do you get resistance. Because I'm Ravenite, I got Vengeful Assault instead.
Okay.
I would like to point out you haven't used that once this entire campaign.
Have I used it
I don't even know what it is.
on the way from Jigao? I did use it. It's because she's not generally ever really at the front. So
I don't even know what it is.
it's basically whenever she gets attacked, she can use Vengeful Assault to do extra damage, basically. Well,
Use a reaction
to
in
attack
your
back.
attack.
Yeah.
It's Hellish Rebuke, my guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like you've gotten attacked a lot and you never used that.
Not with a weapon. It has to be with a weapon. We keep getting
Okay.
freaking magic assaulted, and it doesn't
Okay.
work.
Okay. Does it work on range attacks? Like with bows and arrows? No?
It's a weapon attack.
Yeah, but I have to use a melee weapon.
There you
Fair
go.
enough.
Can't you use, if they hit you, can't you still, while you're holding that weapon, still do it? It was
I think
like
I
Hellish
also-
Rebuke.
It's like melee Hellish Rebuke. It's Riposte stay if you think about it, but yes.
Here it is. Here it is.
In a range of a weapon you are holding, so it can be a range weapon.
I suppose if I have a ranged weapon in hand,
Yep.
you can use a reaction to make an attack with a weapon against that creature. Once you use the trait, I can only use it once. Although I guess we short rest a lot, so
Once per short rest?
well,
It's not like a reaction thing?
it's a reaction, and I can only use it. It's a trait, so once you use this trait, you can't do so again until you finish a short rest or a long rest.
Okay.
So no, I don't use it very often.
I'm just gonna ask one question, because I'm mostly curious. If you guys would have done anything different this session, what would you have done different this session?
I would have picked up more gold and stuff before leaving.
Why didn't you?
I was scared. I just wanted to get out.
Fair enough.
Naya would have actually exited on her first turn because she didn't realize that she could go through the mirror. So she actually had the movement to move through it. The first time she moved towards it.
I would have abandoned
I was
party
wondering
sooner.
I was wondering why you didn't just action dash into it.
Yeah, no, I didn't for some reason realize that I could go through it. So,
Would
I
have cast
thought that-
more clandestine.
but in a way, I hopefully helped Clandestine by maybe distracting them. I don't, since they were made of stone.
Oh,
I
your
was
shadow
pretty
spell
sure-
barely even chipped him, if you're curious. Yeah.
So, but because they were made of stone, she was pretty sure that they wouldn't have any ear orifices. So she was pretty sure she wanted to use Dissonant Whisper to be able to get them to move away
hmm
from Silver, but she was pretty sure it wouldn't have worked and didn't really want to waste the attack. So,
What I would have done different is gone and talked to the Celestial before big boss fight then.
Probably, yeah.
But perhaps on our return visit.
We were so scared of engaging with the Celestial.
No.
Ended up
Not
being a
all
fucking
of us.
dragon in the other room.
Plot is
Some of
scary.
you,
Dragon
Some of you
Space
were-
Carrier.
super hesitant to open a door to a Celestial.
We could do it next time.
Mhm.
What's the saying? Should have engaged with the devil we know versus the devil we don't, or something?
Better the devil you know
We knew
is
there
the
was a
saying.
devil.
Yeah.
We know one
Alright.
devil.
I'm gonna go eat dinner. Night, guys.
Bye.
Din din.
Alright, I'm gonna bounce. Cheers, guys.
See ya.
Later.
See ya. What time do you have to wake up tomorrow?
I'm either gonna get up like between maybe 4:45 and 5 a.m.
Do you is it just you that's driving down, or is it sort of like
No, we're taking two
carpool?
trucks. I have another guy who's going with me, but we got a call today from I got a call from my boss today, and he was I was driving back from my job, and he's like, "Hey man, serious question." I'm like, "All right, shoot, man. I'm cool with him." And he goes like, "What if I told you, or what if I asked you to go to North Carolina tomorrow morning?" And I said, and I just started laughing, and I was like, "Oh wait, are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah, dead serious. Our team down there currently, because they're trying to open up an office in North Carolina, one of the surveyors down there is having like a family crisis or something, and so they were like, okay, we can send a crew down
Sorry,
from
Nick. I should have
Pittsburgh."
stopped recording earlier. I'm gonna stop now.